everybody. Today is June 1st, and that's always a big deal around here because it's Pride Month. And every single year, we like to partner with the Rainbow Road Virtual 5K. This is the Get Real and Rainbow Railroad nonprofit. And they support queer and trans refugees to help find safety in places across the globe. Participants are welcome to fundraise in a variety of ways, like walking, running, biking, sharing posts on social media, making videos, and volunteering. There's a place for everybody. And our goal this year is $5,000. Now, Jesse, how do we donate to the SDPN Virtual 5K?
There's going to be a link in the description where you click it and you donate. And last year, we did our 5K on the ice. We had a little goofy video we filmed where we had a little competition between us, and then we did that. So this year, once again, we're going to figure out as we go along, we promote this. We're going to come up with ideas on how to do this. We may go hit the ice again. We may do something different.
I'd love to hit the ice again.
Yeah, you want to go back?
I loved my favorite challenge was the Oops Sam Bennett and then take your head off.
Yes.
Oops, I'm Sam Bennett, and you're injured now.
I liked puck handling with a pool noodle.
That was the best. That was
and then Emma Malte was in here, and she judged that and had not very kind things to say about our skating skills.
You know what, Emma?
And our puck handling skills.
All right. So you can click the link in the description now. And happy Pride, everybody. Let's start the show.
The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
My favorite part of that intro is when it says P. So it just says P.
Adam Wilde.
Anyway.
P lover.
Leafs make a couple of big hires. Couple of big hires.
The right ones. Let's just say it. They did it again. They did it again.
People you've definitely heard about before. Well, one of them you for sure have.
I've heard of Freddie Hamilton.
I've heard of Freddie Hamilton. These are definitely, everybody all of a sudden becomes an expert on these people. I'll be honest with you. I knew a little bit about Judd Brackett before his name started popping up, but like teeny tiny little bit.
Supposedly he had a bit of a, like a lot of nerds liked him back in the day.
Okay. So Judd Brackett, by the way, let me just give you
nerds.
the rundown. Judd Brackett, assistant general manager, player evaluation, and Freddie Hamilton has joined the Shaika Run for President. He's the chief of staff. That is a brand new title. We've never heard that one before. But Rogers has. This is the funniest part. You guys have got to you got to laugh at this. They've got a thing right now where nobody can be a president or a vice president of anything. So the Maple Leafs are like twisting themselves into a pretzel to come up with these new. Remember, he's the hockey head of hockey ops or whatever they call Matt Sundin. Like it's anything but what every other team in the league would call it.
Senior executive advisor.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made up a title.
Made up.
Yeah. So anyway, long story short, Judd Brackett did a lot of drafting for the Minnesota Wild, was with the Vancouver Canucks before that. He's already getting credit for the names that he did not take because I guess Jim Benning overruled him a lot. That's the rumor anyway.
That's something I heard in private also.
It's public now.
Yeah, but like, okay.
There. I don't know, man. I wasn't in the room.
He was in charge of the draft, but like, I always wonder who's boots on the ground. Like, who's the scout actually at the games and going to the games? Like, So I shot a video before coming here. Like, Leafs have done a lot of things poorly over the years, but they've drafted pretty consistently well out of Sweden. First round picks and like late round gems, like Engvall as a late round gem was very good. Pontus Holmberg as a late round gem was pretty good. Carl Gunnarsson. Hildeby, yeah, that's a good one. Who's that guy? Or several people?
Well, and also, I mean, being ahead of that is being able to amalgamate all the insane amount of information that
that's
you get.
True as well.
Because here's the thing with scouts is they're not short on info.
No.
But it's a question of, is that what info that they're giving me is relevant? And I think that's the art of it.
Yes.
So, I mean, listen, I don't know if you look at how Minnesota's drafted recently, they've got a lot of hits in the first round, not so many in the late rounds, correct?
That's correct. But so I think it's 5 drafts with the Canucks, 5 drafts with the Wild.
Okay.
The Canucks are the more fleshed out works.
Yeah, because they're 5. It was half a decade ago.
Because they're older, and like there's basically no hits beyond the second round. Pretty much, I think Artur Silovs was one of his.
Yeah,
Hoglander was a second rounder. Beyond that, nope, not really much of anything. But even the funniest one I found was the Canucks drafted Podkolzin 10th overall. and 2 picks later was Matt Boldy, which is like, damn, you should have got Matt Boldy. And for those of you who are like, oh, well, that means he's bad. Okay. Well, like 18 months after that or a year after that, the Minnesota Wild were like, we're hiring him.
Yeah.
The team that picked Boldy.
Well, apparently he wanted them to pick Boldy. That was the rumor. He wanted Vancouver to pick Boldy and was over.
That's what I would tell everyone as well.
Yeah, me too. Now, I'm not saying one way or the other. I just think people are like, oh, this is a great hire. I was talking to somebody on the weekend and I completely misunderstood what they said. They're like, when this was being rumored, they're like, there's no one like him. And then I took that to mean that no one liked him. And I was like, oh, well, that fits this front office. So I'm sitting there, I'm going through this conversation with this person, and I'm like, wow, so no one likes him. And then the person says, the people that work for him love him. I'm like, I thought you just said no one likes him. And then the person was like, no. No, you idiot, you moron. And so anyway, I was thinking when they said no one likes him, I'm like, well, that kind of fits our front office MO. Nobody effing likes us right now. But whatever, us against the world. Jesse, do you have any feelings one way or the other on the hiring of Judd Brackett and Freddie Hamilton?
Judd Brackett, I guess we start there and then we go to Freddie and talk about what Chayka said about him in his press release and like his history. But on the Brackett front, it should be a name like you hear today and you're going to go on Leafs Reddit or whatever and look up info, and then you shouldn't hear from him ever again. Like, this isn't anything consequential, I think, to your fandom going forward out there, Leafs fans. You shouldn't care about what Judd Brackett's doing day to day because it should just come and go as today's news. And Mark Leach is still there. He is the director of amateur scouting. He's going to be the one doing the actual scouting. You're talking about the boots on the ground people. He's the one looking at the prospects and who to draft. And there are people under him who are going to go through, and they'll go through that process to figure out who they actually want to select in these drafts. And then he's obviously at the top bracket is, and all those people are going to be reporting to him. But this isn't something that I think a lot of people are going to think about or care about outside of draft time and like the day he's hired and then the day he's fired, because this is a transient business and he's going to come and go eventually.
Jesse, it's a game we haven't done for a long time, but I would like you to get 4 pictures of 4 random men, and we have to guess which one is Mark Leach.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I could pick up Mark Leach. He looks like your uncle.
I was in a scrum with Leach, so I know what he looks like.
Well, I couldn't do it.
I could pick it now.
I couldn't.
So here's what Chayka said. We are thrilled to welcome Judd to our organization. He has established one of the strongest amateur scouting and draft records in the NHL and has consistently demonstrated an ability to adapt and evolve his approach as the game changes. As we continue to build our hockey operations department, Judd will play a key role in integrating traditional scouting, video analysis, and data-driven insights to strengthen our decision-making process. Okay. Now, Hamilton, as chief of staff.
This is a little more interesting.
Will support, oh God, this is so flippin' Rogers.
Man.
Will support strategic planning and cross-functional initiatives across the hockey operations department while working closely with the club's leadership group.
Do you think
What?
John Chayka, sorry, force a habit. Do you think John Chayka loves to put a bug in your ear?
Oh man, he loves to double click on something.
Do you think he wants to put a pin in this?
Yeah. Oh,
He loves office vernacular.
we need to circle back.
Oh,
Yeah. Now he said
Absolutely.
we are excited to add Freddie to our hockey operations department. Throughout his playing career, Freddie distinguished himself through his character, professionalism, and work ethic. Since retiring, he's built an impressive career in business and finance, gaining valuable experience across investing, strategy, and organizational leadership. His diverse background and collaborative approach will make him a valuable addition to our group as we execute key strategic initiatives and strengthen alignment across hockey ops. And here's the thing. He did get his MBA from Yale in the intervening years, which is pretty impressive, right?
Yeah,
but
I was
Masters of Business.
No, I was just going to say, I like go to his elite prospects page, and he hasn't played since 2018, and he's got no NHL work. So I'm like, why did they hire this person?
Yeah, but I think the key point in there is the experience in business and finance and investing that Chayka specifically outlines there, because when we asked Chayka when he had his initial conference about like, okay, you've been away from the game for so long, what have you been doing in the interim? Why do you think you should be getting this job? He always talks about that experience that he shares with Hamilton in the investing and finance world and how he's going to carry that over. So here we have somebody who also has that resume like Chaika's, and he's bringing him over because he clearly knows him from that world of hockey and business,
and
not even necessarily hockey, just business world.
And the thing about numbers is that they're numbers. Numbers are numbers are numbers. So if you can read numbers in one area, you can read numbers in another. I think you know what John Chaika should have done at that press conference.
What
he should have said. When they were talking about like what, his time away from the game, he was like, I don't know if you guys have heard, but I'm richer than everybody in this fucking room. Why don't y'all sit down?
I don't know. Keith Pelly makes a lot of money.
Yeah, I think John owns 50 Wendy's and another few Tim Hortons.
How much does Keith Pelly get paid a year to wear glasses?
I think it's probably 6 or 7 million. I wouldn't be surprised.
That's a wealthy man.
Yeah, but I think if you own 50 Wendy's,
I want to bring up the bank accounts. We need them in the room.
Release the taxes.
Show us your bank accounts.
Honestly,
your portfolio.
If that's what he makes, is that not another example of Rogers kind of being cheap?
What do you mean?
Because he runs.
They hired the guy that doesn't need the money.
No, but he runs them all though.
No, he's talking about Pelly.
Oh, Pelly.
No, yeah, sorry, I'm talking about Pelly.
Yeah,
he runs them all.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, it's an example of them.
So it's really $1 million a team.
I do think between Chaika and another general manager in town, there are some similarities where I'm starting to understand what Rogers likes to hire. Because if you've ever heard Ross Atkins of the Blue Jays speak, it's like if you're a human being that doesn't like corporate vernacular, it makes you want to jump off a bridge. But jump off a bridge, a very short bridge, into a very cold glass of water to get away from it. But I feel like when we look at the way Ross Atkins speaks, and it's mind-numbing and painful, and I hate when Ross Atkins is in front of a microphone. I hate it. His decision-making seems to be very good, but I hate him explaining it. This seems to be something Rogers really identifies with.
Yeah. It's, hey man, you made this great move. Tell us about it. Okay, stop. Okay, hey, you made this bad move. Why'd you do it? I'm sorry I asked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's brutal.
It's interesting that they made up a position for Freddie. Like they invented the chief of staff position so that they could bring him in, because clearly Chaika wants that, whatever knowledge he's bringing from a hockey player who went to Yale, worked in the investing world. He just wants those ideas within the organization. He wants somebody to talk to. So they came up with a position for him.
No, most important thing, Jesse, is he played 8 games for Chaika's Coyotes.
There you go.
Yeah.
He did. He did. And I was like, I don't know. When you're trying to make a video about someone you haven't heard from in like 9 years, you're trying to, all right, what can I glean from this? Yeah. And I was like, okay, that's probably where they met.
How soon?
But like, that's about it.
Did you bring up the Dougie Hamilton, like, oh, that's his brother, and he's coming to the Leafs?
Pretty early, I think.
Yeah.
I said this probably increases the likelihood Dougie Hamilton comes to Toronto by about 2%, which brings the odds to about 2%.
2.1, maybe.
I don't know. I don't think... Like I did a little skit in the video where it's all right. So we run a multi-billion-dollar sports team and we got a lot of things to take care of today. Freddie, what do you think we should do? I think we should trade for my brother. Like, that's not how it works. That's not what he's going to sit around and do all day.
Totally.
Right. So
I love that things are happening. It seems like it's a time of action, which is always very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I just, I don't, because we had so much continuity in this organization for the entire time Shanahan was there, you could oftentimes sort of guess and predict at what they were going to do.
It was agonizing.
Agonizing. It was agonizing after a while. It was fun for a bit, and then they just didn't get the results. Mm-hmm. I don't really know what any of this means. And anybody who says that they do, other than, hey, I think Judd Brackett could be good at drafting, I think they're lying to you. Like, unless they're like, I'm inside the game, I know these people. Like, if it's Friedge or it's CJ or, it's Dregs or Pierre LeBrun, okay, I'm going to... But, like, anybody else is like, wow, this is the guy I wanted. Like, I don't know, man.
Barring something egregious, I think we need to revisit this in, like, 2030.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Because, like, you won't find the answers to if this was a good move at all. I don't think ever. Because it's not his job to sit there and be like, okay, 3rd round pick, 127th overall, select this guy. Yeah. And then he gets just the decision making. That's not his job to just select people. You'll never know if he's actually doing a good job or not.
Yeah. If you want to criticize something, I would say criticize the Canucks record. But again, that's colored by the fact that apparently he was overridden in some of those things.
I think Levy was the other one.
That's brutal. Yeah, 5th overall pick, never played an NHL
we don't
game.
Know.
We don't know that.
We don't know at all. That's a lot of assumption.
Well, hey, I'm only repeating the baseless rumors I heard on the internet, Jesse.
But what I wanted to say was the Wild. I've seen some people go, oh, like not that many people have played games. I'm like, yeah, it's the last 5 drafts. They've nailed every first rounder except for they picked someone 26th after Wallstedt. I don't remember who it was. He's played. Who knows if he's going to be an NHL regular? We don't know. The principal pieces for the Quinn Hughes trade were guys that he was in charge of drafting. And by the way, Quinn Hughes is someone he was in charge of drafting.
Uh-huh. And the other guy, Strammel or whatever.
Charlie Strammel,
from the NCAA.
He looks good.
He looks really, really good.
But
Alan Walsh client, Bednar.
We can't give credit to something we have no idea if he had, if he did it. And the person we're actually evaluating in this whole thing is Chaika.
Yes.
It's the person at the top who it all comes down to. In all of those situations where you're talking about the Wild and the Canucks, what you're actually evaluating is the person who is the president and the general manager in those places. You're evaluating Bill Guerin and the people he put in place to make those decisions. Because at the end of the day, it comes down to those guys.
Well, but it's mentioning, like, were the Wild that happy with him? Like, because why wouldn't they just keep him?
Let him go.
Well, because he got a promotion.
Why wouldn't they just give him the
That's
promotion?
a good point, yeah. Well, why does anybody let anybody go?
I guess.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they had people in that position. It was like, we don't need duplicates at that position.
Right.
That's
he really want to come to
part
Toronto?
of moving up in the NHL.
But like,
he loves Toronto, even though he's from Mackie Two Shit.
you look at an example from here, and William Nylander, we all agree, is a great draft pick, right?
Yeah, great pick.
That draft pick came down to Brendan Shanahan overruling everybody and saying, I played with this dude's father. I like Willie. I've seen him grow up, and we're selecting William Nylander.
Yeah.
Here.
Which is actually awful process.
Yeah.
But
look what happened.
Gut call.
And
was a good one.
Say you don't know that story, and then you retcon the whole thing. You look at, like, who was director of amateur scouting at that time?
Right.
They selected William Nylander.
Man, somebody needs to give Dave Notice another shot.
Like, that's not how the decision was made. So we can't make all of these jumps about Hamilton's record or Brackett's record just based on, like, who those teams drafted at the time. It's the guys at the top.
Who did Yale draft? over Freddie's time there. Who did Yale draft?
I want to say that I feel like there were people that we spoke to that were thrilled about this, and then everybody else is just everybody else. You're right. You judge this in 5 years. But one thing I will say that I think Leaf fans have been dying for, we've been dying for on this show, is like, so when 2023 happened, 2023 obviously being a pivotal year, they finally break through, they make the second round, Dubas gets fired because he's like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. And not enough shit is given to him for that press conference, because that was not a good move. Now, when and then obviously True Living comes on, whatever. What we were asking for in 2023 as a fan group, in fact, dating back all the way to 2021 after the Montreal series. Remember, the Montreal series was 5.5, 6 years into this Core 4 era. Mm-hmm. And at that point, people were like, well, something's got to change. And they're like, no, it doesn't. And then 2022, lose to Tampa Game 7. Something's got to change. No, it doesn't.
Do you remember what
something does change? Kyle Dubas is the one that changes, not the roster. And then Steve is yelling all year, do something this year. At least we're seeing the Leafs completely do everything now.
Yes.
They're changing everything.
Again, so you know how Leafs obviously went to 7 with Florida, and everyone's like, well, they went to 7. I'm reminded of the Sheldon Keefe quote, 2022, they lose to Tampa. Well, there was respect in the handshake line.
Oh, ew. I forgot that was a quote.
That was the drop dead date. That was the drop dead date for me. Like, we're done here. And here we are years later.
Yeah. Well, I like the fact that they're making these changes. So,
yes.
Hey, great. Exciting.
No, I'm just practicing for the amount of times we're going to revisit this over the next 2 weeks.
Listen, we'll see what happens here. Also of note, just in the executive search stuff, because there is Maple Leaf stuff that we have to get to, but we're going to get to it after the BetMGM big story here. The Toronto Maple Leafs, according to Frank Saravalli, did reach out to David Carl a second time, and he politely said, I'm just not ready to move on yet. So there's a chance, obviously, that the Avalanche job opens up, but from what has been reported, he is also not a big fan of how the NHL hires and fires coaches. And he's like, why would I sign my family up for 3 years in one market and 3 years in the other? Whatever. I can do that later. I don't know if I care. And you know what? In football, in the NCAA, a lot of football coaches just never go to the NFL because they don't care.
Yeah.
And they could be in that program for years and years. So that's also part of it.
Is this a safe space?
Yeah, sure.
I'm getting a little sick of how much we're talking about this person who's never been in the NHL.
I don't know. I don't mind it. It's nice to not talk about that over some retread.
No. Yes. No. Sorry. I think he'll be a good NHL coach. Whatever the hell that is. He's been in these rumors for over a year.
He's offered $25 million by the Blackhawks last year.
He was offered so much money, and I don't need to do this, and I don't need to. You tell us when you're interesting, David. Like, let us know, because I'm getting a little sick of this. We're all like, I don't know. Right? Are you picking up what I'm putting down?
It's not him. He's a person that's in demand, and the teams keep calling, and he keeps saying no, thank you. And I don't think that's I have heard nothing about shameless self-promotion out there.
Whoever's putting his name out there is annoying me.
Well, I think his name is out there because they called him.
I'm starting to get annoyed.
But they called him.
Okay.
So why are you getting annoyed at David Carl?
Because I'm getting annoyed at this David Carl. Still no. All right, next topic. We have a finite list of topics. You know what I mean? All right. Can't wait for, where are we doing a show Wednesday? All right, David Carl. Still no.
Oh.
You know what's
bored.
What's going to be the real test of this organization with the fans before they play hockey, of course, is who they hire at head coach. Like, imagine the hire is just somebody who is completely unpopular. Like, imagine the Leafs hire some veteran, and it's a veteran that you're like, oh my god, because no veteran coach comes into an organization having had a great time at their last org. Even Rick Tocchet, who left Vancouver, had a terrible year with the Canucks and then went to coach the Flyers.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm just curious about if that ends, if it's not some new coach, if it's some veteran coach, other than Bruce Cassidy, what's the reaction?
Here's a good example. Peter Laviolette, I feel like, has a great PR within hockey. And terrible PR out of it.
Okay, so people in hockey like him. It's like sports.
Yeah, kind of. Like, with fans, I think they're like Laviolette. And inside hockey, they're like, yep, great hockey man, hockey haircut, whatever.
Who else has got? Pete DeBoer's got a little bit of that too. People do like
Pete
little. DeBoer. I know he's got, he shanks goalies on the regular, but like he does have good PR inside.
I guess he doesn't have quite the same propensity for blow-ups.
Mike Sullivan is another guy that has really good PR. I'm not sure the results have followed. Mike Sullivan's a guy that people seem to want, and they're like, he's a great coach, and I keep going, what year?
Yeah, the difference is Mike Sullivan has actually like stuck around, whereas Laviolette, I feel like, has coached probably 14 teams.
Yeah.
The answer's probably closer
Sports
to
has coached that many.
5. Yeah, no, I know. I don't know. It's just
some guys are.
Are you picking up what I'm putting down? I feel like he's respected within the league, but a lot of fans are just sort of like, that name does nothing.
It would be very interesting if it was one of those types of names, but we'll see what happens. Apparently, they're casting a wide net. So, shall we do the BetMGM big story and get to the rest of the Leaf story afterwards?
No, I think we can stretch this another 20.
BetMGM is an official sports betting partner of the National Hockey League and has everything you need for action on the ice. Listen, we only got a few games left. It's the Stanley Cup Finals. Jesse, is it really time to look at this? I've been avoiding this. Do we have to do this?
We do.
I don't want to do this.
First, I'll just tell you that the Hurricanes are the favorites in the final. They are 1.7 times your money. The Golden Knights are the underdog in the Stanley Cup Final. They are 2.2 times your money. So Adam Wilde, Golden Knights lover, puts his $2 million down on the Golden Knights, and that would win him $4.4 million.
You mean my $2 would win me $4.4?
Yeah. Well, your payout would be $4.4 million.
What about for Steve?
So that's what Adam's putting on this. But the conversation that we are avoiding, that Adam does not want to talk about, the Conn Smythe odds, and how right now 2.5 times your money. Mitch Marner is the Conn Smythe betting.
But what about
favorite.
the next one, Jesse?
Frederik Andersen is second, 3.5 times your money.
I need you guys to know something. I need you to know something, and I need you to know this in the show as well. I'm going to say it again. I'm here to tell you, I am Freddie Anderson's biggest fan. I've always worshipped at the altar of Freddie Anderson. He is the king. He is my king. He is Freddie. Go Freddie. Go Freddie. Go Freddie.
I think I need to hit you with a patented Jesse.
I've always been a huge Freddie Anderson supporter. You guys know me, and I'm betting money on Freddie.
Adam,
I'm betting on Freddie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's do this. Let's just do this.
What?
A week and a bit from now, Mitch Marner, hoist the Conn Smythe, Freddie Anderson, hoist the Conn Smythe. What's worse for you?
What's worse for me?
Yeah.
I think if Vegas wins, it's worse for me.
Right.
Yeah. So Freddie hosting the Conn Smythe, I'll be like, well, we found the playoff that he did well in. we found it. Here it is.
You're gonna be.
So interchangeable.
That's going to be one of your most wrong takes ever.
That's fine. I can live with that. If Freddie loses, though, so help me God, I'm marching to Carolina and I'm writing a really strongly worded letter to all of the players in the Carolina Hurricanes organization.
6 goals per game, you would be the most right ever.
I would be, and I don't want to be right anymore, Jesse. I actually want to back off being right all the time. I want to be wrong.
You have to get a Bussy jersey.
I will.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so
Adam several times guaranteed Bussy would be the starter in these playoffs.
Should have been. Dude, his record's like 40 -2.
Yeah, what's his record in Conn Smythe odds?
Yeah. There is he?
Poor. Not good.
BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Download the BetMGM app and enjoy the NHL like never before. 19 plus to wager. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you have any questions or concerns about your gambling or somebody close to you, please contact Connects Ontario at 1-866-531-2600 to speak to an advisor free of charge. BetMGM operates pursuant to an operating agreement with iGaming Ontario. So we heard last week, well, we didn't hear, we heard from the Leafs last week about Max Domi. And Max had surgery. We didn't know on what. And the Leafs said he'll be reevaluated at training camp. And whenever a team says that, you're like, uh-oh, why are you dropping that in the middle of May? Right? A lot of teams will just wait all summer to see how the injury goes. And then the beginning of September, they'll be like, we're reevaluating him. But it seems like the Leafs were smart enough to understand that this was going to get out, A, and B, that it was pretty serious. And Steve Simmons from the Toronto Sun reported over the weekend that apparently it was a back surgery. That's the rumor.
Okay. And
that he was unable to walk immediately following, which scared some people. And he is now able to walk, but on crutches, apparently.
This is bad.
So this is bad. So this is bad. So whatever is going on with Max, we wish him the absolute best, because it's one of those things that goes beyond hockey.
Yeah.
And
so far beyond.
And what I loved about Steve Simmons' column, that's me saying that, is he said, because he was talking about Max's stats and stuff, and he said maybe Max Domi isn't an irreplaceable player in the level of like Matthews and Nylander, right? But he's an irreplaceable spirit.
We all wanted a piece of Gudas, right? Everyone wanted Gudas. Everyone wanted Gudas to pay the piper, and who did it? Max.
Yeah. And he's the guy that always sort of stepped in. And, there are times where you're like, Max, you didn't need to do that there, or that was a bad penalty or whatever. But he brought, and has always brought, an element that Leafs just did not have, which was this kind of feistiness that we were dying for. There's a reason why Darcy Tucker can't buy a drink at a bar. Guys,
I'm going to let you in on something. Darcy Tucker sometimes took bad penalties. He was a loose cannon. He tried to fight a bench. You shouldn't do that. But we still love him pretty much uniformly.
Yes.
Across the fan base.
Did the bench fight back?
They did. Yeah, it was Chris Neal and a few other guys that were jumping in.
He tried to fight the Sens.
He just went like this.
Darcy Tucker tried to get into a fight in a game he wasn't in against Cam Jansen. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
he wasn't in the game.
Yeah, he's an intense guy.
He was on his bike, ran down the hall, and screamed at him. Sorry, anyway.
So for John Shaika, having this one, I mean, listen, let's just call it what it is. Anything back related, if that's in fact true, is scary. And it's going to take a long, long time before, if he's ever able to get back and play to the level that he wants to play, you've got to be extraordinarily careful, build your strength back up, all that. So the Leafs are going to have to find something for that, because we can't go back to the non-emotional years. We can't go back to, oh, well, we don't really stand up for the crest. We just take the penalty and try to score on the power play. That, to me, I don't ever want that again. I'll just tell you as a Leaf fan right now, if I want to love these guys, and I'm going to need somebody who mixes it up and takes the occasional bad penalty, a la what Matthew Tkachuk did in Calgary, where none of his teammates stood up for him. He was in there mixing it up, trying to get in people's faces, and they abandoned him. I can't. I don't want another Michael Bunting scenario.
It's to a smaller degree, I guess, in terms of consequence than Tkachuk. Go back and watch some of the late season Bunting clips in his second year with the Leafs. They're disgraceful.
Yeah, 100%.
And not on him.
No. And the refs and his own teammates walking away.
They just let him get mauled as he tried to be a good boy because they asked him to behave. And this league sucks.
No, Steve. It's the team.
So bad.
Buddy, it's the team.
No, it is the team.
So put it on the team. The league is what it is. The team didn't respond the way the league was in reality.
I agree with that.
So why are we blaming the league? The league is what the league is.
They never did.
They never
understood that.
So that leads us into the next Leaf story, because it just is always about the Toronto Maple Leafs. And there's even one that's developed over the time we started the show.
Oh.
A new Leaf story, but I'm saving that.
Ooh.
Kelly McCrimmon gave an interview to Overdrive on TSN on Friday. We recorded our last show on Thursday, but we still wouldn't have caught it, I don't think. And in it, he talked about Mitch Marner. And he said that he compared Toronto fans to you've broken up with your ex, and you can't move on. And he said, you guys just need to move on. I can't play the clip, I don't think, because it's copywritten by TSN, and we would get demonetized. There's a couple of other things from that interview that I want to talk about, but I want to start here, because you got to remember, this is the guy that didn't have enough time to grant Edmonton and LA permission to talk to Bruce Cassidy, and then changed the story, and it said, we're just simply not going to allow it.
Yeah.
And then he's got time to go on a Toronto radio station, and it's a Toronto, listen, TSN's an enormous product. It's a Toronto AM radio station.
Yep.
And so Kelly McCrimmon's got time for that. And I want you to understand something. This comes on the heels of Kelly McCrimmon and John Tortorella with that written statement in the NHL, fined them the $100,000 and the second round pick for not talking to the media. Kelly's perfectly happy to talk to the media when it's time to gloat. And that's what he used the Overdrive platform for in his mind. He came on, and I'm not saying that the hosts, I'm not taking shots at the hosts at all. Like, they were, let him talk.
Yeah.
That's why you have a guest on. But he came on to thumb his nose at all of Leafs Nation. And I said this in the BetMGM Big Story, I'm going to say it now. I've never been a bigger Carolina Hurricanes fan in my whole life. I am so, and I'm just saying it here, I'm so done with the anti-Toronto talk. All these guys, I remember Ryan Getzlaf, who's now with NHL Player Safety, talked to, I think, one of the Nations Network shows.
Yeah.
And he said on it, he's like, oh, I'd never play in Toronto. The media sucks and blah, blah, blah. And I want to just reframe this in people's mind for a second, if you guys don't mind. And maybe you disagree with me on this. To me, anybody who says that is telling on themselves.
Yep.
You're telling me you're too soft. You're telling me you're too soft. And I know that seems weird to say that about a guy like hard-nosed Ryan Getzlaf. Well, and he was. And I loved Ryan Getzlaf as a player. He's an unbelievable player. But when you say, I can't handle what some people tweeted about me, I can't handle what some people wrote in a subscription newspaper about me, so I can't play in that city. Listen, let me tell you something. Toronto's a fucking phenomenal place to live. Mm-hmm. Phenomenal place to raise a family. Phenomenal place to be rich. Let's be honest. These people are all rich.
I think most places are good to be rich.
This is
but Toronto's pretty good to be rich.
Good place to be rich. You've got fans that love you. You look at Ernie Clement and Vlad Guerrero Jr. and some of these Blue Jays. Whenever they show up at a game, they get a round of applause.
Ernie Clement, who had people follow him from his residence to a playoff game, and it was portrayed as a positive.
And you have basketball players like Scotty Barnes. People would die for Scotty Barnes. And so when I see guys like Ryan Getzlaf, and I'm quoting him directly, but there's been many more people who have said this. So Ryan et al. You're telling me that you're too soft to be here. And if you're not from Toronto and you're laughing at me right now, that's fine. You laugh away. I don't want anybody. Your Ryan O'Reillys, your people who cannot take it here. Ryan O'Reilly came here, grew up here, was like, nah, I'm not staying here. I don't want to be here. I'd rather go to the Predators. I'd rather go to the Predators and not make the playoffs. And by some miracle, with a 12-game winning streak, they did.
I could do a side quest on Ryan O'Reilly later in the show.
I've had it. I've had it with this. I've had enough of this. This Mitch Marner stuff is not Toronto driven. It's ESPN. It's the NHL. The NHL littered their social media pages with Marner stuff.
Yeah.
This is all everybody else going, ha ha, Toronto. Nobody wants to play there. It's too hard. All I'm saying to you is my Toronto Maple Leafs, anybody who's playing for my team, I want them to be Matthew Nyes about it. I want them to be Max Domi about it. I want them to be, I wish Austin was a little more public about it, but I want them to be Austin Matthews about it. William Nylander about it. And what they say is, I love it here. I can't believe we have the fan support we have here. This is incredible. And I'm sure the media is a bit of a pain in the ass. But you know what that is? It's called pressure. And you can go and you can win another market. I will guarantee you 1,000%. If you win here, it will be far greater than winning in any other, in most other markets.
I guarantee you, if you make a Final Four here, you won't have to work for the rest of your life.
Ever.
And we know this because we've seen it. There's a generation of players who got sort of decently close.
Matt Sundin got what? Sort of decently close. He's now running the team.
2 conference finals and uniformly loved. Gilmore, Clark, Anderchuk,
Tucker,
to a
Corson,
certain level. Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Roberts, Nieuwendyk. They played 2 years here.
It's, listen, it is extraordinarily Mickey Mouse. And it's difficult having a conversation with someone who is a hockey fan and not a sports fan. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was that for a long time. I think like I didn't really care about the Jays. I didn't really care about the Raptors. Like I'm much more of a sports fan now. I've been paying attention to the NBA playoffs, which is why I ignore blanket everything you've said about Toronto. Because of, are you actually joking? The Western Conference Final, I think, would have given 90% of the league a nervous breakdown. The hatred between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the San Antonio Spurs, with one of the, like, Victor Wembanyama is going to save that league. They were way up here. I think they've been sagging a little bit. He's literally going to save that league because he is a 7'5" lunatic. Absolute insane person with how badly he wants to win everything. He's one of the biggest players ever shooting threes from the logo. And he is Chet Holmgren. He's got a lifelong vendetta about this guy because he won some award when they were like 17, right? You need those kind of people. And waiting for them in the final is the New York Knicks. My favorite brand of TikTok right now is people from New York telling everyone, don't go outside. Don't go outside. And if the New York Knicks do win, you better hope they win it on the road. They're going to burn that city actually to the ground. And then there's the NHL. Whee!
Let me give you something.
MICKEYMOUSE.
Well,
so many people in hockey are happy with the dinky little quaint podunk that they have made this league into. They are. I half resent the fact that the cap is going up. What have they done to deserve it?
Well, let's keep it back to the Leafs here for a second. When you say you're a hockey fan and not a sports fan, you guys know who Kylian Mbappe is, right? Plays for Real Madrid.
Yeah.
One of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
Whenever he's not playing, they seem to win. Whenever he is playing, and also when he's not playing, he gets there's pictures taken of him taking a vacation on his boat. Whenever he is playing, they're not winning as much. And so there was a online petition done, and it was called Kylian Mbappe Out. Do you know how many subscriptions or how many signatures it got?
75,000.
Jesse?
100,000.
Between 30 and 70 million.
What the fuck?
Now, does anybody say, yeah, nobody would want to go to Real Madrid? Now, Real Madrid wins. Leafs have not, and I get that. But I am just about done. Kelly McCrimmon's only wanted to do two things by going on overdrive on Friday or Thursday, or whatever the hell it was. Number one, to thumb his nose at Leaf fans. He was rubbing your face in it. That's why he was there. Just so you know, he was there to rub your face in it. The second thing he wanted to do was take a good pot shot at Edmonton as well. And listen, I'll tell you something. He said the only reason it's a story, Bruce Cassidy, by the way, the only reason it's a story is because Edmonton leaked it, is what he said.
Did Overdrive push him on the fact that he's like a proven liar?
Well, I don't think that they didn't. I think it's just like you probably would have harder questions for him than perhaps they would.
Bruce Cassidy understands. So anyway, here's two clips of him violently.
But that's why he would never come on our show, because he wouldn't be able to handle the question.
Yeah. Listen, at the end of the day, Kelly McCrimmon.
He went on the show. They're a good show. They're a great show. They do great interviews, and this was a great one. This made national news.
Yep.
I know for a fact that a guy like that would never make an appearance on this show, because you wouldn't let him. We just wouldn't let him have that conversation the way he did. He used the platform to take shots at two major Canadian teams and go F you to both of you.
Kelly McCrimmon is the Vegas Golden Knights in a nutshell, because he's an asshole, coward, champion.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And only one of those things matters to him. Champion. And I think there's a very good chance, like I've been on record, I think the Vegas Golden Knights are going to win the series.
They do look great.
But
they look great.
Like I half resent that we're even doing this segment, because my reaction to McCrimmon's quotes are, "Okay, asshole, I didn't click the fucking thing. I don't care." Like, oh, there's another clip of someone being like, "Oh, Toronto. Oh man, holy fuck. But I better take some time out of my day to hear this unprecedented opinion that no one's ever had before." Fuck you. Toronto should have a lot more.
Well, we have got to stop accepting it, though. That's the other thing.
I didn't accept it.
Well,
I didn't consume it.
I want
Steve.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about not pejorative. I'm talking about the whole we collective.
Got it.
We have got to stop. We've got to stop this. It's funny because I see a lot of Leaf fans saying, "Oh, it's the media running them out of town." I'm sorry, guys.
No, it isn't.
No, it isn't.
Shut up.
No, it isn't. And
you can't humor this every time it comes across your timeline.
That's why I'm saying we've got to.
I've graduated to no, it isn't. Shut up.
This is what I'm saying, though.
Like,
my point is, this anti-Toronto talk gives the rest of the league glee. They love it. You know why? Because deep down they know they're not us. Deep down, Kelly McCrimmon knows if he won the cup here, it would be a bigger deal. He knows that.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. And frankly, that's not because Vegas is a bad market. It's because Toronto's got 100 years of history. Yeah. You can't buy that. You can't just expand into that. You will never have that generational depth until you've got the 100-year mark yourself.
You know what? I'm not even interested in, I can't tear down Vegas.
I'm not tearing down
Vegas. I'm not even interested in Kelly McCrimmon. I don't care. I don't care about him.
Well, I do, and I think our audience does. And I think that this is one of the things where Kelly made a specific point in his day with his team on the way to the finals to appear on a Toronto radio station to say, "Fuck you all, nana nana boo boo." And I think that shit, Leaf fans, here's what I need you to demand out of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Because they didn't fucking do it this year. When Mitch Marner came to town, and there was lots of people supporting him, and that's great. But here's the thing. You still win that fucking game. And the Leafs were up. And they goofed it. They just lost. And Mark Stone...
both times.
Pumping his fist.
Yep.
No, but the one in Toronto, Steve, I'm talking about. That's where they blew the lead.
Yep.
The one in Vegas, they weren't even in that game.
Yep.
And I demand John Chaika and Matt Sundin put a team together with a heartbeat that understands games like that. Because this, one thing we can say about this era is none of them have ever got it.
They don't understand
the John Tavares return to New York, they got fucking shelled.
Who was their starting goalie?
Garrett Sparks.
You're out of your mind.
Not fair. Not fair to Garrett Sparks, to be honest.
No.
Should have been Freddie.
But that's a fucking insane decision. It's a heartless, soulless, anti-sporting decision.
You cannot
play your starting goalie, for fuck's sake.
You cannot have a Toronto Maple Leaf team that doesn't have fight anymore. And that's what I'm worried about, bringing it back to Max Domi, is at very least he did. Mm-hmm. And they don't have that throughout the roster right now. And they need it throughout. Because you know who does have it? The Florida Panthers. You know who does have it? The Vegas Golden Knights. You know who does have it, surprisingly? The Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah, and who was there after they beat the Leafs having this psychotic victory lap literally mid playoff run? The Florida Panthers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Everyone hates, like, it's the crown jewel of the NHL. It is. Financially, it is the crown jewel of the NHL.
You know, you guys haven't complimented me on it yet, but I happen to be wearing a Fabletics shirt today.
Oh, you have a sexy shirt.
And it not only do I love, here's the thing. I love Fabletics for a few reasons. One of the reasons is it actually stands up in the washing machine. Like, usually you get close,
on
like, oh, that looks
feet?
Not on its feet, Steven.
Oh.
Actually, you know, you fold it, you put it back in your drawer, and it's not like all pilled, and you wear the pants, and the pants aren't folding over themselves and droopy and
good lasting power.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have some at home.
And if you like saving money like I do, 70 to 80% off everything in store kind of feels good.
It does.
All you need to do is sign up to be a VIP with Fabletics. It makes things easy, especially when the seasons turn over and you're like, oh, all my shorts from last year are terrible. Maybe you've lost a little bit of weight and you're looking a little sexy. You got to shake that thing and things are just a little too big. You know, you never know. So here's the deal. Sign up to be a Fabletics VIP at fabletics.com/SDP. You're going to get 70 to 80% off everything when you sign up as a new VIP. Take the style quiz and be sure to select SDP when prompted to unlock the offer. This is a limited time offer, so don't wait. Again, fabletics.com/SDP for 70 to 80% off everything as a new VIP. Now, Jesse, there is a Kent Hughes quote from today. I'm just throwing it in the chat.
Fuck the Leafs? Is it fuck the Leafs?
It is.
Are you joking?
It is a little bit fuck the Leafs.
I was kidding. Are you fucking serious?
I'm serious. And we're going to play the audio. We can't play the video. But I want you to hear it because I've seen the transcript, but I haven't heard him say it. Okay? So, because it's just happening as the show's happening.
If I could sneak into games, I would. Like, I'm so resentful of every time I have to give this league money. Are you serious?
Now, have a listen. Have a listen because it's about the Habs and perhaps some players underperforming in the playoffs. Go ahead.
And I think, you know, being here in Canada, it's going to be a little bit of the narrative going into the Cup final that there was that belief that certain players in Toronto underperformed in the playoffs. And one playoff season wouldn't necessarily reflect another. And I think Mitch Marner's sitting atop of the playoff scoring race, and it's not just what he's doing offensively, it's how he's contributing to their team being where they are. And if we look around at the three series that we had, or the three teams that we played against in the playoffs, it wasn't necessarily their top scorers that were their top scorers, including Carolina, right? I think it's been offensively driven more by Stankoven, Blake, and Hall, and that wasn't necessarily the case in the regular season. So we just got to get better.
All right, so we'll leave it there.
There's one team. It's one team and 31 shell corporations. That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. That's just the psychotic thing to say.
I just want to say
Holy
this.
Fuck.
This is what I'm asking.
Send
this clip to Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. Send it to John Chaika. Give us a team with a heartbreak or a heartbreak. Well, we've got that. I need a team with a heartbeat. I need a team with fight. I need a team that watches that clip, gets pissed off, and beats the shit out of the Montreal Canadiens next year.
Dude.
That's what I need.
Oh my God.
That's what I want. I want a team that goes into Vegas next year and embarrasses them at home. Because it matters to the fans.
God, that's crazy.
Because I can tell you, you know who does do it for their fans?
Crazy.
Florida Panthers do it for their fans. Florida Panthers know a big game. They know when they got to show up and embarrass people.
Okay. Respectfully.
Tampa does too.
Respectfully, because we got a lot of Florida Panthers fans who listen to the show and they participate in the chat. There is no comparable scenario.
Okay, but still, they know what a big game looks like. They still show up against Tampa and they still bring their fists.
The pressure is like, listen, the pressure is greater here. But it's versus none. Do you understand?
Steve,
there are no stakes if they lose.
Yeah, I get that.
We know this because they lost for 30 fucking years.
Yep, I get that.
Exclusively.
But that's a different era. We're in a new era. And I'm telling you, I need a team with a heartbeat. And I don't know why you wouldn't do anything but agree with that.
No. I do agree with that. But all I'm saying is there's no comparable scenario between Toronto and Florida ever for anything.
Jesse, how do you think Vegas's PR team felt about, because you deal with PR staffs all the time.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think they felt about Kelly McCrimmon going, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going on Toronto radio. Bang, Maple Leafs. Bang, Edmonton.
They're probably very happy about that. That feels like very Golden Knights. It feels like everything they are striving towards. Like, I think Kelly McCrimmon did exactly what that organization should be doing, and that's playing the villain role.
Fuck that boring asshole.
Well, I told you when Torts walked off and didn't want to do the media thing. That's him saying it's us against the world.
And by the way,
and
they hired someone who like used to be his like handler with the Rangers or whatever.
Torts's?
Yeah, that Vegas. They just did this.
Oh, did they?
Ago. Yeah, again, nearly 70-year-old man.
Let me say this: Michael
cannot behave.
Michael Russo and Joe Smith are two journalists I respect immensely. But I gotta say, I don't have to love everything that you do. And what do we have? Looky here, guys. Another puff piece about John Tortorella and The Athletic. And it's, they talked to, he's friends with Steve Levy at ESPN. And no offense to Steve Levy. I mean, that's great. I'm glad. John's a good guy. And here's, this is the best. So you remember when we were in San Jose and John Tortorella had that insane press conference and then got fired by Philadelphia?
Yes.
Here's what the article says. The reality is the Golden Knights were an ideal fit for a coach who maintained during the last year spent working as an ESPN studio panelist, that he was not retired and he still had the fire in his belly, and that his comments after that game in where? Where did the game happen?
It was in Toronto. Wasn't
It was in Toronto.
Yeah.
You think he spoke to the Toronto media not expecting an explosion? It's always in Toronto. Anyway, after that game in Toronto, were either taken out of context or weren't conveyed exactly how he meant them. Because here's what John said. I'm not really interested in learning how to coach this in this type of season where we're at right now, but I have to do a better job. And that's the quote that got him fired. There's nothing out that's taken out of context, and there's nothing there that he could have meant otherwise.
He didn't want to coach a losing, rebuilding team.
He wanted to coach a winner. And that's why he's been such a great fit with Vegas. Yeah. But how many John literally the title is how misunderstood John Tortorella went from a breaking point to the Stanley Cup final.
Nauseating.
Mike and Joe, I love your work. I can't. How many times are we going to get John Tortorella puff pieces? I still remember the one from TSN 12 years ago when they're like, look at him with these dogs. And listen, I get that he's a good person. That should be the bare minimum. Being a good person is expected. That's the bar. I expect John to be a good person. What are we doing here?
Man,
I didn't like how the opening of the article tried to excuse the whole Philadelphia situation, because it immediately starts with he had an argument with Cam York in the locker room, and then from that giant blow up that him and Cam York had, he had to go out and face the media, and that's why he was a little on edge and said what he said. But that is your job. You are the head coach. You do this 82 times a year. You talk to the media after the game, and whatever arguments you have with your players, you still don't go out to the podium or to the scrum and say, I don't want to be here anymore.
Take a second to cool down, John.
Why are we retconning those events and saying that John Tortorella is misunderstood when I feel like we all completely understand who he is?
Sports has this problem in general when it comes to storytelling, but hockey has it the worst, where winning equals right. Like, what would this if they had gone 0-8 after hiring him, like I said, and missed the playoffs, would it be like, here's how incompetent dumbass John Tortorella completely
was misunderstood.
Like
he was misunderstood. And you know what's great? You know what's amazing about the Philadelphia Flyers?
What?
They changed the coach out, and what happened this year?
They made the playoffs
with essentially the same roster except for Vladar.
Yeah.
I mean, Torts did not get any goaltending. There's no question about that. He had no goaltending. But that was the general manager's fault. Let's be honest. John, listen, dude, like I respect that he's won. I respect that he's coached in the league this long. I respect that he's a good person. I respect that there are players that would die for him. But I also respect that there are players like Cutter Gauthier who was like, yeah, fuck this. No way. No way. And that's the thing. The reason that an article like this needs to be written is because there are so many people who are like, I fucking hate this guy.
Dude.
I can't stand this person.
Needs to be written by who? NHL.com.
Well, it was written by The Athletic.
They don't work for the league. They don't need to do this.
But they
listen. Those are two very good writers. That article falls short of reality. It's bad. That's bad. That's bad. I have a hard time.
Like, do they need to have Sheldon Keefe? Oh, Sheldon Keefe's so misunderstood. He's so misunderstood. Let's talk about that.
I consume more baseball and basketball content when I'm not just watching hockey and like doing this.
Well, because it's work. Hockey's
no,
work.
it's not because of that. A lot of it's poor. A lot of it is bad, and I don't like writing it. A lot of it's bad, and I don't like reading it. A lot of it's bad, and I don't like watching it. A lot of it's bad, and I don't like listening to it. A lot of it's this. It's PR work, and God, I don't care. Fans make stuff in more abundance in other sports, and they do a really good job of it.
Mm-hmm. There's some great hockey creators out there.
There's some
excellent, amazing creators that go well above and beyond what any of the broadcasters do on either side.
No, the hockey guy's insane. Like, he's completely insane. Like, I bow to him. But like, it's just more plentiful.
Well,
right?
it's because there's more people watching.
There's more. Yes, because we don't. Those sports don't resent viewership and fandom.
Well, but
hockey does.
But let's get it back to torts
objectively
here.
Does.
Let's get it back to torts here, though. Okay. How does that play into this? I'm not seeing the connection.
The connection is, what the fuck is that article? I'm not interested in reading that because it has a troublesome relationship with reality. I'm not interested in listening to Kelly McCrimmon and his troublesome relationship with reality. They're just not true. John Tortorella was misunderstood. Wrong? Incorrect.
Actually, he was completely understood,
Completely understood and bullshit. Try again. Kelly McCrimmon and the Bruce Cassidy stuff. Lying and bullshit. Try again.
What was it, Frank?
I'm not interested.
Do you guys remember when Frank Corrado was on and he was talking about Mike Babcock? And he was saying, he's like, what always confused me about Mike was like, he'd be like, yeah, good guy, good family, and he's like, yeah, so what, man? Like, like this is the thing is that
bad guy, terrible family.
I'm not judging John Tortorella on what he's like in his home life. I don't know what John's like in his home life. And that article doesn't know either. Nobody does. I'm judging John Tortorella by people. Oh, you don't understand the guy you see on camera. That's all I have. And he likes dogs. Good for you. We all like dogs. It's
so bad.
So this is the thing is it always is like, well, you guys, and then what this is going to be taken as is, well, you guys are just salty Leaf fans, blah, blah, blah. And maybe that's true. But I look at John and I'm like, I'm sorry. You're not going to gaslight me out of this.
No.
You're not going to. And I've never loved John Tortorella. And I've always said that. Never loved him. And I've always said this. I don't understand the appeal. I don't
He
get
used to be more interesting than this, though. To me, the cardinal sin that he's committing right now is he's boring. Like, sorry, that article's bad and shitty. And I'm just not interested. This is what you got to go into your bag. This is the Stanley Cup final. There's two teams. Finite number of stories. Let's hammer them. This has got to be your best work. Okay, let me see this article about John Tortorella. Boo. 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 So bad. The Overdrive guys would have got me on their side and made a listener for life if they just booed Kelly McCrimmon when he said things that weren't true. Boo. Like, your fans are Leafs fans by and large.
It is a national show, though. They run it nationally on TV. It is. Come on.
I
know the focus is the Leafs because
the focus is the Leafs.
Toronto, yeah.
So you can't let some guy come on here and talk shit. Boo. Hockey's got a problem. It's got a interesting and relevance and fandom problem.
Jesse, what are your thoughts? Do you think John Tortorella is misunderstood, or do you think he's completely understood?
I'm a subscriber to The Athletic.
As am I.
And I hold the New York Times to a higher standard than this. It's such a PR piece on behalf of Tortorella. Some of the things written there they're just blatant. Hey, this is why the situation in Philadelphia happened, and he's actually right for it. It's very odd. It reads very odd. Like, they say point blankly, there are no hard feelings in Philadelphia. And I think a lot of the people would either disagree or why are we putting this out there? It's definitely on the side of Tortorella to be like, hey, he's actually a good guy and all that
Philadelphia
stuff.
is made out of bricks, the Liberty Bell, and hard feelings.
I think a lot of people would disagree with that.
What the fuck are you talking about?
So they say that, and then after that's the excuses of like why he had to say what he had to say in the media. They say by year 3 in Philadelphia, the torture of another rebuilding season had taken a toll. Tortorella is such a competitor that was hard for him to accept losing and again not making the playoffs. The fit that once made sense no longer did.
John!
And they're acting like what he did in the media wasn't just a reactive blow up and he was fed up and a piss baby in the moment. And they're saying, oh, it was just a building of this moment and this is his excuse. And then he said, and then they go on to write, the same coach many assumed had talked his way out of Philadelphia suddenly found himself in a situation that may have been perfectly suited for this stage of his career.
Well, sure it is.
We didn't assume he had talked his way out of Philadelphia. We saw on camera.
It was televised!
Talked his way out of Philadelphia.
Tomato! This is awful!
And
Tomato!
So I go back to where I started this
Holy
thing.
shit!
I
This is
expect
terrible!
more from really great writers in Russo and Smith, and it's a little embarrassing that this piece is out there.
Let's be honest,
Russo's
dude,
great. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
Let's call it what it is. Vegas has treated the Athletic abominably. Look what
Yes.
happened to Mark Lazarus when Carter Hart was signed and they tried to ask him about it. Vegas kicked him out.
Yeah, this is so.
What are we doing here? Are we looking
This
for
is
ads?
so
Like, what's
bad.
happening here?
This is so bad. No, oh my god.
Yeah, this
I'm trying to find. Okay, Steve. Yeah, like do something other than just call this what it is, which is fish wrap.
As
That's
I said,
terrible.
I love those guys. I think they're great writers. I don't have to love everything they do. I didn't love them.
Dude, I used Michael Russo's writing today for the Judd Brackett
Yeah,
stuff.
because he's brilliant. He's a great writer, but I don't like this.
He's pretty damn good with the Minnesota Wild. This falls short. Like just flatly, it falls short. I've fallen short. We all fall short. This falls short. This is poor.
I can't believe. I really can't believe the conversation with John is never about what John does. It's explaining John's actions. And how can we explain it for him? It's never in his own words. It's never in his own words. It's always, oh, but John does the, oh, but he's a good guy. Like, no. John is what John is. If John is not enough of a leader to get over a fight with Cam York before talking to the media, then he's not fit to lead. Hey, you signed up in Philadelphia. You signed the 4-year contract. Why did you sign the contract, John? You knew they were rebuilding.
Did the paychecks come on time? Hey, did the Flyers fuck you out of another coaching opportunity, or did they grant the other team permission to let you walk?
They granted it.
Oh, but you get asked about Bruce Cassidy and you got no comment.
And then you're saying, get off Bednar's ass.
Get off Bednar's. You're so
full of shit.
Full
of shit.
So profoundly full of shit up to your hairline. And no, you know what? He was misunderstood by the Toronto media. Fuck off. God, I can't stomach the way the sport is covered.
Well,
fuck me. That's how this show started. We shouldn't exist. Do you know that? Do you know that?
Yes, I do know that.
I come in here and I still, every time I post something, I go, this is nuts. After all this time, I'm like, this is not. I've been making videos for 19 years. I shouldn't exist. You know why? Because mainstream outlets should have stomped me out a long time ago by making better shit than hobbyists.
And let me tell you this,
but
they're a lot better funded than we are.
They are a lot better funded than we are. They still are after all this time. I've seen how the sausage is made, and it's made out of twigs and fucking cartilage and shit. It's awful. And now we get to do it ourselves, and it's not for everyone, but we get hundreds of thousands of people. We did 5 million views in May. That's fucking nuts. And that's just YouTube. That's crazy. Sorry. Like, I'm using this to talk about us, but like, I can't believe that some of our like gold star institutions in the sport are falling this short on the most basic of facts. Fuck. Oh my God. Misunderstood? Blow it out your ass. Where's Philly on this?
Well,
I need to hear Philly.
I think Philly, I think you might have some Flyers fans after tonight.
Oh my God. I need like Charlie O'Connor and that crowd to be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you talking
Hey,
about?
how do you think Vancouver feels?
I'll go to Tumblr if I want to read fan fiction. What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I just think
God.
the things they outline here are things we don't judge head coaches on. Like they do mention he's an animal lover part. Adam, I know you love
Oh
that.
my God.
So
am I.
He's
Where's
an
my
animal
keys?
lover, a fiercely patriotic father who bleeds red, white, and blue. Like those are
Who
words.
cries and shits his pants when the Flyers don't make the playoffs?
Those are words written by The Athletic, and I don't think any of that matters in terms of what he did as a head coach and how that ended.
That reads like
where
a
he
wrestling promo.
and where he got with the Philadelphia Flyers. And I think that's what we're judging here, not on whether he loves his family or not, because we kind of all assume that he loves his family.
Jesse,
and
if
It
he
likes
reads
them
like
as
a
family.
Hulk Hogan promo and not journalism.
It's very odd that weeks after, like not even that many weeks after, he does such a giant disservice to his media obligations that are outlined by the collective bargaining agreement, and he gets fined $100,000.
I hope
for
they
doing
increase
it,
the fine.
and he causes
Holy
his
shit.
team to lose a second-round draft pick. That after this, the media are now groveling in their articles towards him to outline what a great guy he is behind the scenes. When in actuality, who cares if he's a great guy behind the scenes? We know what happened publicly as a head coach, and you can't convince us that everything is hunky-dory in Philadelphia and he's this great guy and we should change our opinions on him. It's such an oddly written article. So
I don't understand it. I don't get it. That's why I brought it up. Most of the show is built on, hey, I don't understand this. Let's talk about it. That's how I line up the show. I mean, if you want to know the secret, that's what it is. And not all of the show is like that, but that one really stood out to me, and I'm glad you guys had the same reaction because I thought I was going crazy. I honestly sometimes.
And
I
what's
do
the reaction
feel-
going to be?
Huh?
Oh, these Toronto assholes.
Yeah, that's somebody that doesn't.
Fuck.
That's somebody
It's
that doesn't
such
want
a
to admit.
boring cycle.
It's. But here's what I want to say again to Leaf fans, bringing it back to that. I know we've gotten away from that a little bit, which was the point. Don't take this shit anymore. When people tell on themselves and say the media is too hard, then you tell them you're too soft. You can't play here. You can't hack it here. The lights are too bright for you.
Yeah.
And that, you should own that. Like, hey, you better not leave your hotel room. We're going to burn the city down, New York. I respect that. Philadelphia was in the files. What do you think they'd say to the news cameras, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's time that we step into our shit as a big franchise and stop going, oh, well, we're not like that. Maybe we are, but maybe you just can't hack it here. And some players can, and some players can't. Some coaches can, some coaches can't. And when Kelly McCrimmon comes on the radio and disrespects the entire city, we should be fucking mad about it. And we should respond to it.
Guy's a goof. I don't fucking
And
care.
anyway, so
His name's on the cup. It's going to be on it again. Doesn't make him not a goof.
Jesse,
yes.
when Steve comes into the studio,
Okay.
often late, and we're trying to get the recording done,
Okay.
what does he usually hold us up with?
Pictures of his child.
That's right. And
Children.
And then all of a sudden
Both
we're
of
okay with it because they're cute.
Yes, you see, that's a cute little baby girl. I'm happy with that.
The other day, Steve was showing us a picture of his eldest, his son, rolling off the couch, and then the little one, who's 2, giggling just completely out of control about it.
Mhm.
It was worth the holdup.
Now, a guy like Steve, who's a very soft man, wouldn't Aura Frames be a great gift for him for Father's Day?
Yeah, I think we should turn this around, and somebody should get you an Aura frame, Steve.
I already have one, but I would love to.
You need one per floor.
I would love that.
Now, you have it. Tell us what it's like.
It's awesome. I look at it every day. My life is enriched by it every day with great memories of photos of everyone in my life. You know, even a little bit of Jesse Blake and Adam Wild.
Get out.
Wow,
Oh,
we
just a
made
little
the
bit.
Aura frame.
Damn.
bit.
You know what? That's a new status symbol. If you've made somebody's
Yeah.
Aura Frame, that means you're really good friends.
Yep. And Isla, well, she asked me to just put it on the floor. And she will sit like elbows and like on her stomach and just like point at everyone and just be like, "This daddy."
No.
And then
Really?
it flips to the next person. That's Leo.
You know what's interesting? Kids love pictures of their family and videos of their family. It's bizarre.
Because they know those people.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, I know them.
They don't know much things, but they know the people.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. No, name number 1 by Wirecutter. You can now save by visiting auraframes.ca for a limited time. Listeners of the Steve Dangle Podcast can get $35 off the best-selling Carver Mat frame with the code SDP. That's Aura, A-U-R-A, kind of like the kids say it these days. AuraFrames.ca, promo code SDP. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. I want to talk about the Colorado Avalanche and their coaching situation because they delayed their press conferences and stuff and people assumed it was because Jared Bednar was about to be fired. Now, we watched a conference final where Vegas wiped the floor with Colorado. They really did. There was one period in that entire series where Colorado was the dominant team, and it was the first period of Game 3.
No, Adam, there's actually a article in The Athletic. The Avalanche are all really good guys, and they got swept, but it was nobly. And
they're misunderstood.
Sorry. So, it was a misunderstood
I don't want to do what John told me not to do and get on Bedsy's ass. But do you really think that there needs to be a head coaching change in Colorado when they had a President's Trophy winning season, absolutely crushed the Kings, dispatched the Wild pretty easily, and then just got hurt? Like, I didn't see the Colorado Avalanche. Like, Marty Necas wasn't great, let's be honest. Nathan McKinnon's hurt, okay? We know Cale Makar was really hurt. Mm-hmm. Tell me a team with their two best players that hurt that's going to be that successful in the Final Four.
It's possible that it's time for a change, like
because he's been there for 10 years.
Yeah, and like producer Drew has sort of been like, yeah, maybe it's time, and I've seen like other Avalanche fans say that as well. I think two things can be true at once. A few things can be good at once. This team should probably not have gotten swept. Should arguably be competing for the Stanley Cup this week, but are not. They lost. And it's time to move on, almost a little bit like Pete DeBoer. Like in a vacuum, it's like, dude, you went all the way to, what was it, Game 6 or Game 7 of the conference final. Mm-hmm. And then you fired him because he had a misunderstood blow up with his goalie publicly. Like in a vacuum, that's an insane decision. But he'd been there a while and the standard's high there. And they decided, you know what, we're going to go ahead and try something else. Now, lost in the first round this year. Hasn't exactly worked out. But they made the decision that they had plateaued. Mm-hmm. I could understand why the Avalanche would arrive to the same decision with themselves. And Bednar's going to go somewhere else, and he's going to be unemployed for 5 seconds. Because what kind of asshole would, hold him hostage?
Jesse, would you fire Bednar?
I would. I think change for the sake of change is good in the NHL. I think if you want to go and if you want to look at the Avs situation that way and say that Bednar has struggled since that cup run to get his team over the hump there, I think getting a new person in there to give Nathan McKinnon maybe another kick in the butt that I think he needs at this moment after the loss at the Olympics and now this loss in the playoffs. And I think a healthier Avs team with a new head coach and a kind of a change of mentality there can't be bad for them.
What could Jared Bednar possibly tell the core of that team that he hasn't already?
Yeah, they all know him.
100 times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We see this work so many times. I don't think you should be afraid to fire head coaches in hockey.
It's working in Vegas right now.
Yeah.
Bruce Cassidy is a good coach, and we know that because of the hostage
And
situation.
they won't let him out.
They won't let him out.
It has nothing to
Fucking
do
assholes.
with Bednar's ability to be a really good head coach. It's just sometimes you get sick of a guy.
New voice.
Yeah, new voice is good. And I think the Avs with that loss, like they really showed that they're missing a little something there, and you can't just injury excuse it away. And a new head coach would be helpful.
Yeah, I honestly think they could have won the cup if they were healthy, but they weren't healthy, and maybe it's time.
So I want to talk about this too, because Bruce Cassidy plays into this. I think if Bednar goes, man, Cassidy in Colorado makes too much sense. And I here's the thing though.
If you're Vegas, you say no.
So Bruce Cassidy was on Chicklets on Friday. So this is what I will say, and I think I disagree with you, Steve. I think we're coming into a new era of hockey content, because I think in an afternoon we were gifted two beautiful.
Oh, I know.
interviews. We got Kelly McCrimmon.
I need it to happen faster.
And let give Overdrive a ton of credit. They got out of his way and let him say what he wanted to say. Now we can sort of jump on what he said.
Yeah.
Now on Chicklets, who also were very smart about getting out of the way. They asked Bruce Cassidy, because obviously Bruce works with Paul Bissonnette on Biz on TNT. They said, "Hey man, like they addressed the whole thing about if Bruce was willing to walk away from the last year of his deal and Vegas was willing to walk away, why couldn't they do that?"
So if he wanted to light, what was it, like $4 million on fire?
Yes.
He's not even allowed to do that. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I mention I'm really good at this?
I think that was what Adam was setting up.
That's what I'm trying to set up to get your reaction for.
I'm all thrown off.
Bruce, it's okay. Don't worry.
Grumpy.
Bruce
I
Cassidy.
mean, we can tell, Steve.
I'm in a foul
You're doing
mood.
a little bit of that thing. I was in Vancouver this weekend, and one thing you've said before about being on vacation: don't be that person who always goes to another city and just talks about how great that city is as their more than their other city that they actually live in.
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing a little bit of the thing where you're just looking at baseball and basketball and being like, "Look how greater it is over there."
Right.
When we live in a pretty cool hockey landscape.
Yeah.
We do, but it's still behind, and I want more from it. You know what I mean?
Totally.
I'm holding
But
it
it's
to a
coming
high
along.
standard.
And these
maybe I'm
interviews-
running it out of town.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Kelly-
sorry to have expectations.
Listen, we were gifted Kelly McCrimmon and Bruce Cassidy in the same afternoon talking about opposite sides.
Yeah.
So Kelly McCrimmon obviously said, and for anybody that might have missed what I said about the Edmonton part where he's taking a shot, is it's only a story because Edmonton leaked it. Now, as we've said many times in these interviews, these executives they're not under oath. They can lie. McCrimmon knows that that's not true, but he wants to take a shot at a divisional rival. Now,
What if it?
you got to let me finish this.
Yeah,
Let me finish the sentence.
Fine.
So what Biz asked him was, okay, well, if you walked away from that deal, which is essentially resigning, what would stop you? And he said, well, I have a non-compete. So Bruce Cassidy has been fired or removed from his position, as in he's no longer the coach, but he hasn't resigned his position, and they are still holding him actively as an employee. That's how the contract works. Even if, and this would never hold up under Ontario law, you can't do this here, but even if he were to resign his position, the way the contract's written is that he is not able to work for an NHL team until the contract expires.
His original contract with the Golden Knights expires, which is at the end of next season.
And so that is likely a notice period rather than a non-compete, because non-competes have been basically thrown out of court. So what a lot of people will do is they'll go, well, you have to give us a notice period, and the notice period just happens to coincide with the end of the contract. So that's how you enforce that. So Steve, your reaction to Bruce Cassidy.
And did you mentioned the Kelly McCrimmon saying that Bruce Cassidy understands the situation?
Yes, yes. I did not say that, but
And
yes, he said he understands it.
And which is the lie when you were saying they're not under oath.
Because Bruce said, I don't understand.
Bruce, Kelly McCrimmon is right that Bruce understands that he's being fucked. It's just Kelly hasn't admitted that he's fucking him. Right?
Yeah.
If the Oilers did leak it, I wouldn't give a shit. Like, I wouldn't give a shit if Kelly McCrimmon were telling the truth. First of all, of course the Oilers leaked it to me. Why on earth would Vegas do that?
Yeah,
Although I have to be honest,
right?
If Edmonton leaked it, that's weird too, because they hadn't fired Knobloch yet. So I'm not fully convinced that the Oilers directly leaked that or meant to leak it. Knobloch, remember when this came out, it looked like shit for the Oilers. I don't think that I know everybody's forgotten.
Okay, so it's obviously true though. So who did it?
I don't know.
Someone did it.
Well, Frank had the story, but I don't know how he got it.
Someone did it, and my guess is it wasn't Vegas, is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah.
It would make no sense if it was Vegas. It's awkward if it's Edmonton, but it would make some sense on account of it's true that they want him. So I'm willing to say that might be true. Okay? But also you're fucking this person and you just won't admit
it's not that it's
that.
but that's not the reason it's a story. And that's what he was saying. It's only a story because, and that's not true.
Well, it's a story because you're doing something unprecedented.
So with Bruce saying this, I do wonder how long this is going to last, because Bruce is openly now on the biggest podcast in hockey talking about the fact that he's getting fucked and he's not happy about
Here's
it.
exactly how this works.
Give it to me.
Because of the way hockey works. they're going to start calling Bruce Yappy. And they're going to be like, man, he's whining about this. And he's talking too much. And he's a leaky ship. And he's selfish. And he's in this for himself. And he knew what he was signing up for. And the smear campaign, the whispers on Bruce Cassidy, it's going to start.
You know what's the worst for him? He's gotten fired in the two worst ways in his last two jobs. Boston, it was in his own living room. And then
Cam Neely took a shit in his toilet and it was like, you're fired.
See ya. And now he's getting fired and he can't move on. It's
I
brutal.
feel really bad for him.
I do.
It's in the middle, won a cup with Vegas, by the way.
Yeah.
Like,
Because he's clearly going on these shows because he is really upset about it. He wants that narrative out there. Like he went on the NHL Network's podcast and now he's doing this and he keeps yapping because he needs some sort of public pressure on the Vegas Golden Knights to let him out of this deal.
and guess what he's doing? Public pressure on the Vegas Golden Knights? Like, that's just not a thing.
Yeah, but he's trying, This is the only avenue he has because legally and by NHL rules, Vegas isn't doing anything wrong.
I know. Like, when I
So
talk
the
about,
only thing he can do is try and fight it in this way. So I feel for him.
when I talk about the content cycle, like this is what I mean. Like, and sometimes I'm like, are we alone? Kelly McCrimmon goes, he understands. And Bruce Cassidy goes, no, the fuck I don't. And everyone just goes, oh. Okay, so John Tortorella is a patriot.
I don't. I think
What the fuck? Guys, can we pause for a moment on this controversy?
Everybody has the same reaction that we do who watched that Spit and Chicklets clip. Is like, hey, this is ridiculous. Let him out of his
No, I know,
contract.
but the media doesn't acknowledge it at all.
That's the media.
Yeah, and the media sometimes doesn't want to mention other outlets. Like, we don't care here. We'll just mention where it came from. But like, if you're at Sportsnet mentioning TSN or vice versa, they just won't let you do it.
It's agony.
Or like try their best not to let
Jesse
you.
Granger wrote about this story.
Yeah.
Like the Bruce Cassidy thing because it's news, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just don't care. Well, we'll direct you to them. They're the ones who wrote the story. But I think it's it has to do with the fact that when you write things like that or when you focus on things like that, I think people who are running these are maybe not. I don't know that I think the reason that you're feeling that way and the reason that a bunch of hockey creators have been able to come in and fill a gap is because not everybody's got their finger on the pulse, right? And there's only so much one show can do. And there's been cutbacks and everything. And so that's why we're able to exist is because of that lack of, hey, how come we haven't done a story on that? Isn't that newsworthy?
We have an enormous advantage in time.
Yeah.
I like just time spent doing this. Yeah, I should say like there are brilliant hockey creators out there. But
Brilliant.
I wish there were more of you.
Of course.
I always want more. And you know what we've been watching a lot of?
What?
Because my son is really into trick shot videos. The True Crew.
Don't even know them there.
The True Crew. They'll just like go on the ice and do like a shootout competition, but like every round is a different kind of puck. Right?
I like that.
It's a heavy puck. It's a light puck. It's a
square
wiffle
puck.
ball. It's
Yeah.
a apple
cool.
or whatever. Yeah. It's fun.
100% Clutch Canadians presented by Moosehead Canadian Lager. Now, you guys already know. We say this every week. Moosehead is the last major brewery in Canada. Still owned by Canadians. Still packaged by Canadians. Still brewed by Canadians. And by the way, apparently if you go to New Brunswick and you visit the Moosehead brewery, it's pretty cool. And a bunch of people from New Brunswick are like, hey, can you guys get out here and do a show here so that we can, one day I'd like to do that.
I'll do that.
I would do that. And we probably could drink the beer. Now, the thing we want to tell you about this week is you need to be on the lookout. We're looking for our 100% Clutch Canadians. By Friday, when we do the segment in Friday's show, we will have 2 Stanley Cup games already under our belts, and Steve will have streamed them both.
Wow.
So, Clutch Canadians. Who will be the Clutch Canadians that we need to be looking out for on Carolina and Vegas? There are plenty of Canadians playing. Which ones would you choose? Leave them in the comments. We got to hear what you have to say. And you know what we're going to do this week? I'm going to try to find some people that we can shout out too. So if you're going to leave it in the comments, we're going to give our picks, but I also want to give your picks as well. And tell us why in the comments. You got all week to think about it, to watch. In the playoffs, it's more.
Has anybody picked Rod Brindamore yet?
No.
From Ottawa. Might pick him this week if the Canadians get out to the lead.
But he's from Ottawa.
Mine's Bruce Cassidy.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm just
what are you
kidding.
talking about?
Bruce Cassidy.
Bruce Cassidy. There you go. I like that. No, yeah. Actually, Rod would probably be one of the greatest picks, and I can't believe no one's actually chose him yet. 100% Clutch Canadians presented by Moosehead Canadian Lager. Look out for it on Friday. Brendan Gallagher said today at Montreal locker cleanout, because remember, Ken Hughes was talking about the Leafs, but Brendan Gallagher didn't. He said if it were up to him, he'd stay in Montreal for the rest of his career, but you'll obviously note that he was scratched, I think, most of, if not all, the playoffs.
I think he played 2 games.
And he will have a say in where he goes because he's got the no trade. And he was quoted as saying Vancouver would be a great place. Because he's from Vancouver. So I think
he was asked about it though.
Yeah, he was asked.
It wasn't like he brought it up. I think somebody
he was
spoon fed him like, "Hey, what about Vancouver?"
You're from
and
there.
then you take that quote and he's like, "He said Vancouver." So I don't know, like if he's just going to Vancouver.
I mean, my assumption was Vancouver.
For a place that has a shitty locker room, or supposedly a shitty locker room, he would be a perfect guy for them. That's all locker room. That guy.
Interesting.
All leadership. That guy.
All effort.
Yeah.
All heart.
Yep.
And
that's the kind of guy that I think
the Vancouver Giants back in the day.
There you go. Well, I think that's a guy that can galvanize a room into an identity. And that's the one thing you can never say about Brendan Gallagher, is obviously his play has declined. And Montreal has gotten better around him, but he never complained. He never complained once about, the spotlight's too high. You remember they're going at you in 2 different languages too. So sometimes you can't even hear the shit they're talking, which maybe is a good thing. And he was blue blanc et rouge to his core always. Never bitched about the media, never bitched about the spotlight, just went out and played. And I think a guy like that on a rebuilding team could be phenomenal.
He's one of those players where, he plays for a rival, but seeing him in another jersey,
It's going to be weird.
It's
like Buchanan's in Toronto, right?
Yeah. Right? He was.
But I think he's a much better pickup for them than Evander Kane would have been last summer.
Right.
And I'm sure
another guy who played for the Giants.
The numbers that they will contribute will be comparable.
I hope he goes somewhere that's not Vancouver. He tries to win a cup.
See, here's what I think. I think he ends up in a Vancouver type spot, Jesse, and then gets traded to a playoff team.
There it is.
That's what I think.
He makes $6.5 million. That's quite a bit. But he did play 77 regular season games, so he can be in your lineup every day in the regular season. Just when it comes to playoffs, he's probably squeezed out.
I liked him in the 2 games that he played. The wing situation just didn't line up for him. Like, I'm trying to think of the right wing. I think you had Slav. You had Anderson was down there. You had guys like Doc, who was sometimes on the wing.
Demidov.
Oh my God, Demidov. Thank you. Yeah, like it just didn't make sense anymore.
Yeah. 3 games.
3 games.
1 goal.
He did have a goal.
Yeah. Jack Pridham has been traded from the Chicago Blackhawks to the Tampa Bay Lightning in our first real, true offseason trade. Now, you might not know Jack Pridham, but you probably, if you've heard this podcast, know his dad, Brandon Pridham, who just recently stopped working for the Leafs. Jack was a 3rd-round pick in 2024 of the Chicago Blackhawks. He had 90 points in 60-something games with the Kitchener Rangers on their way to the championship this year. Jack has committed to play the NCAA next year, maybe even the next 2. So it was basically coming down to the point where, okay, you're the Blackhawks and you understand that your 3rd-round pick, who happened to work out pretty well for you, is not going to sign there. And then you're risking losing your rights. And so Jack had, it's very strange, but Jack had contractual rights without a contract to kind of dictate where he was going to go. Because if you traded him to a team he wouldn't sign with, because Chicago could have traded him anywhere, but to get maximum value for him, they're going to need to trade him to a team that he will sign with. And it sounds like Tampa was that team, because who doesn't want to be in the Tampa system?
Of course.
And they got a 3rd-round pick this year. But what sucks about that for Chicago
next year.
Next year. Oh, it's a 27.
That's even worse.
So you're not going to see that player till like 2030, 2031.
So here's why that's a disaster. So going back, disasters. It's a net negative. Put it that way.
It is.
It's a net negative. So if you go to his Hockey DB page, they don't have this trade, but they do have another trade. Draft pick rights were traded from the Carolina Hurricanes to the Chicago Blackhawks for a 3rd-round pick in 2025. That pick is Nathan Boehm. But Pridham is a 2024 pick. Mm-hmm. So the Blackhawks said, we're going to take this 2025 pick. We want to move up. So we want to move it up a year. So it's going to be 2024. So we can draft this player earlier. And it's a 3rd round pick. What are the odds you're going to hit on a 3rd round pick? They're not good. They're poor.
Not good.
You hit. Wha-bam. You nailed it. Great. And where are we from 2024? Well, we're 2 years later. So here's the best case scenario with this 2027 pick. You nail it. You draft another Jack Pridham with the exact same numbers and resume and accolades and everything. Well, bam. This player is going to show up for you in like 2029, 2030.
Maybe.
So you scouted this guy. All the other teams around you are asleep at the wheel. They don't get the right guys. You get Jack Pridham. You nail it. And now this pick that you wanted to move up to 2024 is now not going to play for your organization until optimistically 2029 or 2030.
And the worst part
That's bad.
The worst part about it for Chicago, I think, Steve, is that they don't get a player for themselves now.
Yeah.
They need it now. They need them now. They need all these guys. Nazar, Levshunov, all the guys in that system that's so well respected. The farm team and the potential is respected. The system that's respected is the Tampa Bay Lightning. That's the system that's respected. Everybody likes what the Lightning do with their system. Chicago, the jury's still out.
Which is
Some
funny
of these guys have
because
got to come in and perform.
It's funny because last year, Ike Howard made the exact opposite decision.
To leave, yeah.
Where he went, I don't want to be a prospect in the Tampa system. I want to go to Edmonton. And Edmonton's like, hell yeah, you're going to help us win now. Anyway, enjoy Bakersfield.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, those are two different things. Tampa's doing so well at this, dude.
Yeah,
and he's Sam O'Reilly's teammate, right? So they got Sam O'Reilly in the who were we just talking about? Ike Howard deal, and now they got Jack Pridham as well.
And Sam O'Reilly, who was regular season MVP and then playoff MVP and Memorial Cup MVP. So
the Marner special, I think.
I think Sam O'Reilly might have had a little bit of influence over Jack Pridham there on where he wanted to sign. when the guy who's the star and your teammate is playing in the Tampa organization, and then now all of a sudden you sign in Tampa. Tampa's set up beautifully to have these two enter the NHL together, hopefully in the next couple of years, and just dominate.
And isn't that so frustrating? Like, Tampa, they're kind of old. Is their window closing? Yep.
Yeah.
Here's your next crop of guys. These guys, they don't go away.
I think
good org.
It's good that Chicago can recoup the exact asset they spent on him, but I don't think you're wrong at all in outlining it, like how much of a disaster it is that they don't get this really good young player that they scouted and drafted, and nothing pays off for them.
Well, it's got to be demoralizing for like the staff, right? Like the staff that found this guy, like shit. Yeah, like he's going to play. He's going to play in this league. He's going to have a long career.
Yeah.
And you found him in the 3rd round. Like what was he, 90 something overall?
Yeah. And like how many 3rd rounders hit and become NHLers? And it looks like you
92nd overall.
A really good one here at 92. Oh. Yeah. And then you get to see nothing from it. Now, and he did exercises, right? Like Alan Walsh, player agent to the Stars, would be sitting here saying Jack Pridham did everything he could in his rights to create his own situation that's the best for him, and he did.
Yep. You know? No, I got nothing against Jack Pridham exercising his right, and it's just tough that, like, I think it's a failure on Chicago.
I think it's good. You got to make these teams more competitive. If you take away this advantage, which I think it is being taken away in the next CBA, I don't know how that unfolds. It's a little bit different in the next CBA when that kicks in next year. These teams just get fucking lazy.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, it used to be you draft a player who's going to college with like knowing the risk that they might just stay in college.
Well, now they can do it. Just go to college.
Right. But you drafted a major junior player.
Yeah.
Not thinking that was going to happen. Then the rules change. Right.
Boo-hoo.
Well, boo-hoo, I agree. But that's why they're changing it.
Yeah. And then players didn't again stand up for their own guys. That's CBA negotiation, man. You got to just embarrassing.
And there's,
I don't care.
If you guys want to get robbed, get robbed.
They don't care. I don't care.
There's a weird
it's your life, man.
Here too, because his contract his obligations to the Blackhawks expired today at 5 p.m., but he's going to announce where he's going to go and commit to a university because he originally committed to, I think it was BU, and then he rescinded that. So then in the next couple of days, he's going to announce where he's going to actually commit to, and then that's going to extend his rights for Tampa. As long as he's with the university there, they're going to have a longer runway than the Blackhawks would have had because his rights expired to sign him to an entry-level contract.
Wow.
We need to revisit the use of the word commit.
Yeah, you can rescind your commitment.
You
Yes.
just rescind your commitment, so that's not a commitment.
Well, you committed and then you took it back.
And then you uncommitted.
I believe the term is decommit.
Adam's been divorced.
I've decommitted.
There you go.
And I've been decommitted from.
Yeah,
It does happen.
it happened.
Sometimes you make a commitment and you go, we can't see this through.
Exactly.
Damn.
And both sides go their
It
separate
doesn't
ways.
mean it wasn't a commitment originally.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean I don't have a beautiful 7-year-old girl who turned 7 yesterday. What the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
7-year-old kid.
Whatever skill issue.
All right, not everybody gets to meet their love of their life when they're 19 at
I know.
a party. All right.
I'm trying to be as awful about this as possible. Scoreboard.
We are going to do, if you're looking for a Stanley Cup Finals preview, we are going to do that, but that's a separate video, and we will be posting that today on the channel. But I do want to talk about the end of the Montreal season. Because I meant to put that in with Gallagher, and I don't know why I didn't do that. So we're jumping back to the Canadiens here because let's be honest, call it what it is. The Carolina Hurricanes kicked their fucking ass.
Man.
And I know everybody's and Montreal should be extraordinarily proud of what they accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
But like when Florida kicked Carolina's ass last year, Carolina's like, shit, we got to work on some stuff. And they did. What do you think Montreal needs to do next year to not only get back here, but at very least push a series like this to 7? Because it seemed like you were riding, especially late series, Dobish.
Yeah, I think the Habs won 2 periods that whole series. The
Better
first,
than the Avs.
Yeah. Yeah. They won the first and the third period of game 1.
Mhm.
That was it. That is the end of that. I think they just got to get older.
Just get older and better.
They got to get older and better because like all those guys have dominated at basically every level they've played. They never had the puck. You kind of need that.
Especially their game.
Their
Their game is the
like, sorry, man. Tree pollen is just beating the shit out of me.
good. You deserve it. Kelly McCrimmon is happy about this.
I probably do.
Kelly McCrimmon likes this status up.
They don't have tree pollen in Vegas. They probably don't.
I know, they
actually,
probably
now that I
don't.
think of it. They have trees. Do they have trees? Palm trees? Anyway, where were we talking about?
We're talking about Montreal and what they want to do.
It's hard not to look at that series and go, we need to be better at everything. Goaltending seemed fine. Hudson's going to be such a player. Boy, Carolina wore him down. They wore him down, man. There were times he would get the puck and do like hero ball in the third period. I'd see him skating with it, and I'd be like, I forgot you existed for 15 minutes. Like,
Wow.
I'd have to be like, oh, there's Lane Hudson. And like, it's not even a criticism. It's just how well Carolina played him. Lane Hudson needs the puck.
Mhm.
And if the team never friggin' has it, it's difficult to be like, oh yeah, man, he really boxed that guy out strong. You know, he showed he had better defensive chops than I thought, but man, he got murdered out there. Caulfield and Slafkovsky, I'll give a ever so slight pass to Suzuki, but Caulfield and Slafkovsky have got to be more effective 5-on-5. Slav, I'm sure, is battling injuries, but he's got to be more effective 5-on-5. They by design rope-a-dope. So like a lot of it, I don't think was them necessarily getting completely caved in by Carolina. It was they want you to do that. They want you to come into the Venus flytrap and then they expose you. That's their game. They need more capable offensive players throughout that lineup. Jake Evans is a great player. Second line center?
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Can you do a little... I was going to say, can you do better than Kirby Doc? But like even he had a few really good games.
But is that
in
Oliver
there.
Kapanen, who was scratched, by the way, a few times? Is that him getting better? And
Yeah,
more
that's
sure?
another guy who's young, right? And Slav is like 22 and Caulfield's like 23. And Demidov is 20 and Hudson is 21. And
Jesse,
there's so many things that I think just get better over time.
Other than being obsessed with the Toronto Maple Leafs, if you're Ken Hughes, what do you do this summer?
There's a big talent gap there right now in the forward group specifically. I think the defense is it's really good. Like I think there's a strong case to made like, hey, you don't need to mess with anything on the back end. Hudson's just gonna get older and bigger and stronger and know more of his game because Carolina did beat him up and made him ineffective largely in that series because of how much they pounded him time after time after time. And he's just going to get better in the NHL. Like he's so young.
Reinbacher in for Struble is going to be insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it works.
And then the forward group, that's where you got to start adding pieces. But they're set up so well in their cap situation that it won't be hard. But there's a talent gap there with Carolina. And then the guys you do have who you expect to perform, like Steve mentioned, Cole Caulfield at 5-on-5. He had 2 5-on-5 goals or even strength goals this playoffs. That's not good enough.
No.
That's not good. You went to game 7 in both the first 2 rounds and then 5 in the next one. That's enough games to where I expect you to put up more than 2 even strength goals.
They played 18 games, man.
Yeah.
Like
you had 40 even strength goals in the regular season.
You scored an even strength goal every 9 games.
Come on. So you expect more from Caulfield there. Slavkovsky, the same thing. He just very underwhelming playoffs. Demidov, he's a little baby. Like, let's give him time to grow into that.
By the way.
Yeah, big compliment.
There's bad baby and good baby. He's good baby.
Yes. A baby in that he is young and that there was a little bit too much on him at this point in his NHL career.
I thought he looked great.
Yeah, he was really good at times and he's only going to get better from here. So, like, that's where you're going to improve. The bottom of the lineup, I think, was there a lot. Like, Newhook put up a bunch of goals. I shouldn't say bottom lineup. There's a middle six.
Guys outside of the
6-4,
guys you depend on.
Exactly. Like Newhook put up a ton of goals. Deneau was very effective on the secondary end of the ice, the defensive side.
He always is.
He was fantastic and then contributed with a couple big goals too.
I kind of like Bolduc and Texier.
Like if you're Ken Hughes, you're just looking at this and just go out, make some trades for something down the middle. You know, you're going to look a lot better. And then bolster the bottom 6 and you should be good and you should be right back where you were.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I know it's fun to dunk on them. And if you wanted to dunk on them, you unfortunately had to wait a while. Mm-hmm. Right. So I get it. But, okay, they lost to Carolina and it was bad. That means they're bad now.
No.
Okay. Well, it didn't mean that for, Carolina. Mm-hmm. Who was in this position a year ago.
And these things aren't linear. Like we can't expect just every single year you improve, even though they've gone that way since their rebuild, which it just started a couple of years ago and they went from missing the playoffs to the first round and then they won the second round. And then now they're in the conference final. Doesn't mean next year you're in the Stanley Cup final.
First overall pick in there too.
Yeah. It's been a quick turnaround and there needs to be some patience in Montreal because I don't think this means like they should be contending for the Stanley Cup next year and that they're going to win it. And it might take another 2 years to get back to this position where you're right there.
This was surprising.
Totally.
It was surprising.
But
a lovely surprise if you're them.
Great learning experience, man.
And you played on the edge in that your style worked in 2 Game 7s against Buffalo and Tampa. Because you by design, I think a little bit in those 2 games, you got outplayed and outshot, but Montembeault was fantastic and you're able to get those goals.
Not Montembeault.
Sorry, Montembeault.
No, no, they'd be
Montembeault was somewhere in Laval.
They'd be Montembeault if he was playing.
Yeah,
say that. Right?
Dobish was fantastic, and like maybe a couple bounces it goes differently, and we're looking at the season a little differently. So I think by design you play those games a little better, and you try and win the expecto goal meter plus the actual goal meter.
No, let's
try and get those next time. But they're
expected goals.
They're in such a good position.
Yeah. The Game 7 against Tampa, it's only remembered for the 9 shots. The Tampa didn't get a ton done offensively in that game either. No. Well, obviously they only had the 1 goal, but like they didn't have a ton of shots and they weren't terribly dangerous.
And Vasilevsky was really good when he had to be. Like it's not like Montreal didn't have their chances with those 9 shots.
No, people kept looking at, Vasilevsky, he was just shit. He was garbage. I think it's a little more nuanced than that. He wasn't up to the standard that we're used to, but he was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Now, life is a journey. Some days feel good, some days feel not so good, and some days it can be just straight up overwhelming. And that's why you should try therapy, because sometimes it's nice to have somebody else look at your life and go, this could make it easier for you.
I don't remember the last time I was just whelmed.
Yeah, it's me. The thing with kids is that it's always overwhelming.
It's always overwhelmed.
Yeah. Jesse, are you whelmed over there? Would you consider yourself whelmed?
I'm pretty whelmed. I'm pretty whelmed up.
You're well. I like that. Now, here's the thing. These are quality therapists. BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the United States. BetterHelp does the initial match work for you, so you can focus on your therapy goals. There's a short questionnaire that helps you identify your needs, your preferences, and their 12 plus years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rates mean that you typically get the right therapist the first time. But here's the thing. If you're not happy with your match, because sometimes you just don't vibe or whatever, you can completely switch. No problem. It's easy. 30,000 credentialed therapists work for BetterHelp. 6 million people globally. You don't have to be alone on this journey, okay? So find yourself someone to talk to you and hang out with you and figure you out in therapy. The code is SDP. Go to betterhelp.com/SDP. That's going to give you 10% off. Again, it's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/SDP. On the funnier side of things, unexpected side of things, the Winnipeg Jets retweeted a tweet of mine from 15 years ago yesterday.
What was that?
And I didn't understand it either. But what I said was, congratulations to the Winnipeg, and I was trying to be smart here, insert noun-based object that goes fast and has jet-fueled engines on their return to the NHL, because they wouldn't say until the draft that they were going to be called the Jets.
Right.
And everybody's like, yeah, but they're going to be the Jets.
You were 23?
Yeah, and I lived in Calgary. And this is pre-podcast, this tweet. And they said yesterday, thank you at Adam Wild. And it was their 15th anniversary of the announcement to them going back to Winnipeg. And I must have tweeted that in Calgary. And then Winnipeg found that tweet from May 31st, 2011 and retweeted it.
Listen. Whoever you are, you find us through the proper channels, we will get you Dangle Navy merch, because you are clearly a ball knower.
Yeah.
This is so clearly a Dangle Navy ball knower.
Well, that's pre-podcast, though. Who's looking at that?
No.
Most of my tweets back then were about like Demi Lovato and Justin Bieber.
This person's on our Discord, I guarantee.
You think so?
I guarantee.
Yeah, we got a couple, I think, fans in that organization, because they were on my channel as well when I was doing the Hellebuck stuff.
Oh, yes.
Commented on the channel, if you guys remember that. We brought it up on the
Greatest
show.
take of all time?
Yeah, my greatest take of all time. Hellebuck's going to have a bad season the year he won the Hart and Vezina. Awesome stuff from this show. So, whoever's
so
out there
good.
in the Winnipeg organization who listens to this program, we appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
We do. Lastly, Canada loses in the World Championships in the bronze medal game to Leafs big time draft pick Tinus Luke Kublar.
Tina's time.
It is Tingus Pingus time.
Let's go Tingus.
He had a great tournament, 9 points or something.
It was unbelievable. 6 goals, I think.
Macklin Celebrini did make the tournament All-Star game, captain of Canada. But yeah, can you go on your Ryan O'Reilly side quest? Because he said something to the effect of being here and coming all the way over here and walking away with nothing. It's just
it's a waste of time.
Waste of time. Like, he was mad that he lost. But what is it with Ryan O'Reilly? For you.
Okay, I don't think I have a big rant, but it's just like, if I could see him, it's just okay. You know what I mean?
You say
like,
he's dramatic?
What? Okay. Like, no, the Buffalo, I lost my love for the game, and you're like, all right. And Sabres fans are gonna be like, oh, well, you weren't saying that at the time. No, but it's an accumulation, right? And like, I don't want to play in Toronto, and I just want to go to Nashville and play my guitar or whatever. And then you represent your country, and I know you're disappointed with the result, but to call it a waste of time, I'm just like, okay. It's a bit much, Ryan.
A waste of time to come here and leave with nothing because they didn't medal.
No, it isn't. Like, you don't medal every damn time. I know you wanted to medal, but like, what are you saying? Like, you're not going to go again?
You wanted to win.
Yeah, in the most dramatic way possible.
I like it. I do not encourage that.
Yeah.
We need more of that. Why are you against this?
Now,
we need this.
This is me talking to Ryan O'Reilly.
No.
While wearing a pot costume. and he's dressed up like a kettle.
Railed about the fact that media is not interesting enough and we're not doing enough of a job to cover this sport and the NHL doesn't value. That quote is, if that happened after an NHL game, because in North America, unfortunately, there's only so much time you have in a day. Right. World Championship hockey is difficult to pay attention to when you've had the playoffs and it's sunny outside and you have like a family, right? It's difficult when you have things to do.
People don't understand patio season in Toronto.
It's the best.
Everyone's gone.
So my point is, why would you listen? I like that he's dramatic. Let him be more dramatic. Give him a microphone more often.
Okay, so what I'll say then is I'll give you dramatic lessons, Ryan. Is I'm going to burn every piece of equipment I own from this tournament and come back like a phoenix from the ashes and rise above. Because, I don't know, I just read that. I was like, okay.
Stephen.
Yeah, Adam.
You can't be a hypocrite. You can't do that.
I can absolutely be a hypocrite. What are you talking about? Here I am in our studio, microphone in front of me. I can say whatever I want.
I think it's a little embarrassing Canada lost.
It is embarrassing.
Yeah.
It is.
I get to Finland, but then to also just blow the bronze medal.
To Norway? To Norway.
This is no one ever. I tweeted this once years ago. It was like 2014 for the World Juniors and was told, shut the fuck up with the force of 1,000 suns. So I'm not going to do it again ever. But it is good for hockey when teams that don't traditionally win at these tournaments win. It is. But in order for that to happen, it has to happen against you sometimes.
Yep.
And it doesn't feel like it's good for the sport when it happens to you. But like Norway?
Yeah.
Norway? How many games of NHL experience are on that roster?
You can't contain.
Is the answer 0?
You couldn't contain Tinas Luke.
Tinas
Luke.
Time.
It's Tinas. Oh, Tinas
is
time.
the time that I'm on. I am on Tinas time.
I texted Scott Wheeler about him. I'm like, okay, like he's having a great tournament. That's exciting. But like, how overexcited are we getting? He's like, perhaps a little bit. He's like, he's going to play though. And he's going to play up and down the lineup. And I'm like, all right, we could use a guy like that.
The really interesting thing about Tinas Luke Kablar is if he was 2 months younger, and again, if I had wheels, it'd be a wagon. But if he was 2 months younger, he'd be in this draft class.
Yeah. And probably would go a lot higher because of this tournament.
So, well, think of all the fanfare around Ivor Stenberg and the tournament he had, because he was also very good.
Mm-hmm. Well, I look at this a little bit too. Like they pulled him out of nowhere. Like when they drafted him last year, everybody's like, who the fuck is that?
It was a really, here, I'll go look.
That's why I hope Mark Leach is sticking around because with the new hire, I'm worried that he might go. I don't know. I actually don't even know how the organization thinks, but I hope Mark Leach stays.
This might have even been before Mark Leach.
Norway had 5 guys who are signed to NHL contracts, but I would say like 0 really active NHLers. Brands Nygaard, the Red Wings.
Oh yeah.
He's the closest we're getting, but his league is technically the AHL.
Yeah. He played in the NHL.
Nygaard is a solid Norwegian last name.
It is.
It's just a Nygaard, Gaar.
Is it Nygaard or Newgard?
Nygaard. Well, maybe we say Nygaard.
So
I don't know what they say.
Tinas, famous for Tinas time, was drafted out of the Swedish Junior League. So again,
Swedish Junior League, dude.
This is, but what have I said about the Leafs in Sweden? They scout it really, really well. So when it comes to the Stenberg discourse, you can be pretty confident they know what they're doing, whether they pick him or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They do it really, really well. So he's Norwegian, but drafted out of Swedish Junior. But even there, he didn't run the league over. He had 21 points in 43 games. He was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th on his team in scoring, barely in the top 10. This year, he had 8 goals. He had almost as many goals at this tournament than he did in his entire year in the Swedish men's league.
Wow.
He had 8 goals and 6 assists for 14 points in 47 games. European numbers
are crazy low.
Do not compute. Do not take them at face value. It's going to melt your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Go by the scouting report, right? Go look at, he's the youngest person on his team and all that stuff.
What's his ice time?
The Leafs, they do this. They like taking guys who are one of the younger guys in the draft class. They did it with Semyon Girard-Gachintsev.
Mm-hmm.
They did it with Nick Robertson, who I believe was the youngest player in his draft.
I didn't know that.
And they did it, I think he's the youngest player picked in 2019.
Wow.
And Tinas Lukoblar, one of the youngest players picked in 2025. They like to do this.
Interesting.
And they've done this for like a while.
I guess that's where you can find value. Jesse, what are you looking at?
Oh, I just want to weigh in on the World Championship stuff, just on Canada's roster, if we want to.
Yeah, I'd love to.
That.
Tell me about
like
it.
Evan Bouchard got taken out. That was a big
bad hit.
That wasn't great for the
insane.
tournament for them. Like he was really helpful on the back end. He was a great driver of the offense for them. They went 6-0-1 in the round robin round. Like they were really humming, and I think that changed a lot for them. And then the goaltending situation wasn't the greatest. Like no offense to Jet Greaves, but
I like him. Yeah.
I would have liked to see a couple more.
He did have a crazy game against, was it the Americans? Who did he just
He was pretty good
his
against
head.
the Americans, if I remember correctly.
But
Yeah, that was an
you're
easy
right.
win.
Canada's goaltending's thin, right?
Yeah, that's what I want to bring up. Like, it's not a great goaltending situation with Canada, and we saw that. Binnington was all right in the Olympics. It wasn't the reason they lost, but we just thought the whole debate going into the Olympics was about Canada's lack of goaltending.
Here, I'll give you
I think
this.
here you see it again. And the American side, you're looking at guys like Connor Hellebuck, and all of the European goalies are always great.
Yeah.
We don't have that in Canada.
Whenever we have this debate, my question is he Patrick Waugh?
Right.
Yeah.
Is he Marty Brodeur?
Right.
Is he Roberto Luongo?
Right.
Is he Curtis Joseph?
Right.
Like the answer is no. So
Marc-Andre Fleury was their third goalie in 2010.
we're gonna need we're gonna need some goaltenders to emerge here. I'm gonna need Quebec. Where are my QMJHL boys at? I'm gonna need some goaltenders to come out of Quebec again. What happened? That was the factory.
Mhm.
That league in general is very interesting.
It is.
Like you look at a lot of their top performers, or like top draft eligible players. Even a lot of them are American or like Russian or European, and that's fine, right? Like I don't have a problem with those players coming over and playing. I'm not going to be your uncle about this, but in terms of Canadian development, like, yeah, man,
That was the factory.
we need you.
Yeah, we
There
do.
were, what was it? What was the set? There were no Quebecois players on the
Yep.
Canadian Olympic team.
I know.
Yeah.
That's
Zero.
That's our isn't it the second largest province?
Yeah.
That's crazy. There's only 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A few
that's-
territories. There's territories.
And yeah.
Steve, what do you think about John Tavares and Morgan Riley being on this Team Canada losing team?
Well, I know Adam blames it on Morgan.
Yes.
It's
And,
not Morgan's fault.
I don't put it on John at all.
Mm-mm.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
Do you think lessons
can't
were
be.
learned?
Do you think?
You think lessons were learned?
What if John Tavares had said what Ryan O'Reilly said after losing
I
so
would
many times with the
fucking
Leafs?
love that, Jesse.
Wouldn't that be cool, Steve?
I would love that.
Yeah, but he hasn't used the same amount of bullets as Ryan O'Reilly has.
That's true.
He didn't leave the Islanders because he lost his love for hockey. You know what I mean?
And wanted to play guitar.
Yeah, and I just want to play guitar. No, he signed here for like 2 blueberries and a nickel because he just is a passion haver,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Anyways,
levels to this.
I think as an organization, as a governing body of hockey in Canada, Hockey Canada should be disappointed in what their teams have done in the last 365 days. They've been destroyed by the American side in the women's game. It hasn't been close for a long time now. And then the men's team can't break through. And this same thing happened last year in the World Championships where they lost. And then this year again, you're sending Crosby and Tavares and all these top stars, and they can't beat these teams don't have NHLers. It's disappointing.
This is not going to be popular. This is for Team Canada and to another degree, kind of the Americans. If you're in the bronze medal game, can you please embrace it?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
One team wanted to win that game with every fiber of their being, and the other is like, I'm embarrassed to even be here.
International competition is not the Stanley Cup. It matters that you win a bronze.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And we got to get out of the North American mentality that doesn't matter. International competition is not the NHL.
Yeah.
It is international competition where being in the top 3 matters.
Yeah.
Winning obviously matters, but if you can't, you better fucking get bronze.
I know you don't want to be in that game, but like, come on.
Yeah.
Well, you're you're not playing with the same passion that Norway is.
Did you see the celebrations from the Norway team when that goal went in?
Like
it was like they won the goal because that's how much it meant to them.
They were up 2-0 all game.
Yeah.
Canada comes back to tie it, and before regulation, they allow another goal. Like, come on, guys. Come on.
You're not going to be able to match them in the passion department. You're not going to be able to, like, I'm sure they had tears in their eyes friggin' winning.
It's the biggest international win ever.
You
handed
try to meet them
Hockey
at least,
Canada.
you know?
Hockey Canada in the last 6 months has handed the United States their greatest win in international hockey, and then followed it up with Norway's greatest international win. And I even forget what happened at the World Juniors. I think they made it to the second round.
Czechs beat them again.
Yeah.
Like, at what point?
Second straight year,
talked
right?
about this like 5 years ago. Hey, the German program is really coming up. They've got some really new things that they're looking at. Oh, the Czech pro. Have you seen how big Czech is? Have you seen how small that friggin' what by big I mean small? They're small.
It's like 3 million people?
We know.
It's like Toronto proper.
We know Hockey Canada is outdated and outmoded, and they have been for a long time. And I know it's like trying to move the Titanic, and they had some cultural things they needed to fix internally. But at what point does Hockey Canada acknowledge that the way they do things is not the standard anymore?
I will
It's
say
not. It's not.
It's a depressing result, because like one of the things I criticize Team USA for is like, dude, look at this roster. What is this? Like you have
Well, they all won the gold, so they don't care.
Well, yeah, but like, and then you got like fourth liners and
Matthew Tkachuk.
healthy scratches and AHL guys and Matthew Tkachuk, right? Canada had some real good names show up for them, and they still couldn't get it done. So it's good that they went. I'm happy for that, but
I think,
boy, that's a disappointing
I think
result.
Hockey Canada's got some long-term pain ahead of it.
I think he's really well liked within the game, but I think Scott Salmon is well past his prime in terms of putting these organizations and these management groups together in these teams. And like, that's the guy who's the vice president of hockey operations of Team Canada, and who's like the guy's filtering the hockey stuff for
Did
the
he
teams.
put Dave Cameron in there a couple years ago? Because if that was his choice, he should be gone.
Yeah, it would have been. He would have been in charge there as well. Like I think he's really struggled in this later part of his tenure, and I don't know. It hasn't been great for Hockey Canada.
Nope.
Or are we
rough.
just overthinking this and Canada didn't know what time it is?
They didn't see the train.
They didn't see the Tennis train coming.
Choo choo.
Yeah.
Choo. Cuckoo, because Kublar.
Scott Salmon put Kyle Dubas, Jason Spezza, and Brad Treliving in charge of putting this team together.
Yeah.
And they lost. What are your thoughts?
I like the roster they put together. They should have won. Like, I'm not going to chirp the roster. They should have won.
And by the way, shout out all those NHL guys after long seasons and the Olympics and a compressed schedule for still showing up for Canada. I do want to say that. It ain't on the players this one.
And the kids too, like Porter Martone going, great.
Yeah.
The roster should have won.
The last thing we have to hit is unfortunately a sad thing. And it's something that everybody has had to deal with all weekend, so we won't dwell on it. But Claude Lemieux passed away. And his brain is being donated to Boston University CTE Research Center because they want to study it for concussion. And CTE, which is the thing that they can't find until after you passed away, unfortunately.
Can only be diagnosed posthumously.
Claude Lemieux, 60 years old. His family was brave enough to say that he took his own life, played 1,500 NHL games, and the family said Claude dedicated his post-playing career to helping the next generation because he was an agent with some really great players, Freddie Anderson among them.
Mm-hmm.
Rasmus Anderson also.
By allowing his name to be connected to this research, we hope his life can contribute to greater understanding, more honest conversations, and better protection for athletes and families in the years ahead. I want to say this. Every time Alan goes off on this on Agent Provocateur, we get the people in the comment going, I don't only come here for CTE stuff. I want to hear agent stuff. I want to hear whatever. And I understand that we're not in the era of empathy. I understand we're in the era of, that's too bad, suck it up, you little baby. Claude Lemieux was as tough as they come. As tough as they come. Some people would say as dirty as they come. He was that type of guy in the NHL, extraordinarily successful. Claude Lemieux put his body on the line, and at 60 years old with an extraordinarily successful NHL career and a extraordinarily successful agent career, respected by everybody around the league. People loved this guy. took his own life.
And 48 hours before that is appearing in front of the world at the Bell Center.
Couldn't
And
believe
Holding the torch?
from the outside looking in, like everything appears all right. And it looks like he's having a great time.
This is why Allen is so hard on this. This is why he won't back down on this shit. And I know it's not cool, and I know it's not exciting, but this shit's real. And the fact that we live still in an era where the league is like, yeah, there's no real science to back it up, when every single brain from a hockey player professionally that's been donated to science about this, except one, has had CTE. Every single one. If you have a conversion rate of like 97, 98% on anything, it's basically fact, right? And I cannot believe that in an age where even the NFL acknowledges it, the league still won't do that. And it's a disservice to Claude. It's a disservice to players now and players growing up. It's a disservice to the equipment manufacturers who are, as soon as somebody gets in there and acknowledges this, there's going to be more conversation about how do we make it safer. We're not saying take physicality out of the game. You can't even eliminate headshots. Mm-hmm. But what you can do is penalize them harder. What you can do is try to eliminate them. And this is why we get so upset when NHL player safety is like, oh, well, I mean, it's just a headshot, but he didn't mean to.
Yeah, 0.2% of the season, you're suspended.
This is my point. This stuff, unfortunately, will continue to happen. And I'm not saying we'll ever eliminate it. But what if we could reduce it? What if it was not, hey, we've seen this before? What if it's, wow, that hasn't happened in a long time? What a shame. That's what I want to get to. And I feel like we do have to have this conversation when this stuff happens. So apologies, I'll get off my soapbox.
It's denying this when the evidence is so clear is going to be a black mark on Gary Bettman's legacy.
And the owners.
For decades to come, and the owners, that they will not be able to wash off.
Yep. All right, we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for listening. CJ's show is out today, probably out right now as of this posting. Look for our Stanley Cup preview. That's coming out. And Steve, tomorrow night, streaming Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals.
That's right.
Let's go.
I didn't even realize that when you started setting it up. Hey,
that's you.
Go.
Tomorrow.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.